niggas once, no, like 24 switches. All of these niggas be talking about me, cause niggas be jealous. It's none of my business. All of they feelings are running their mouth.
Come on, Instagram.
One of my bitches. No time for fake bitches. Just sit this ace of spade with these real bitches. We got switches on them things.
All right, man. We're like 14 seconds in. We're like no talking. I'm going to turn Meek Mill off because you know what? I don't really care that much about Meek Mill's music. I'm way more interested in his personal life that he's not denying, but we'll talk about that later.
Meek Mill.
Yo. You know, we'll get to it later, but maybe all this Diddy stuff coming out has been great for street culture.
I think it just is telling us more and more and more about stuff that we kind of already knew.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny, too? Literally, if you go back and you look at the Cat Williams thing, he literally says yeah, all this stuff's about to come out in 2024.
So we're saying Cat Rock or something?
Nah, look, I don't know what Cat knows, but this is what I do know. Cat did say that this stuff was going to come out because he said something about P. Diddy in the interview where he was like, you have to say no to Diddy. Basically.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people didn't, and I don't know if it goes well if you tell Diddy no if you're in his industry.
Yeah.
No, Diddy.
Yeah, so
I want a dream, not a nightmare. I'm a dream chaser.
It's disgusting. It's filth.
Maybe Dreams and Nightmares is talking about, Meek Mill's dream of becoming a well-known rapper, rich and famous, and then the nightmare of what he had to do to get there.
Well, AB tweeted that out. He said, what was he talking about on?
AB been on one on Twitter.
Yeah, I do.
Oh man!
Yeah, like a nigga squeeze.
I thought he was talking about the trigger, but maybe he was talking about trigger.
Oh no, yeah, he was talking about a trigger, all right.
Stop!
I don't know who was doing all the squeezing.
Hey, Meek, that's what you're into, man.
Paddy wagon cuffs locked on wrists. That wagon that could be his butt, and he could be getting, locked up. He might have been in handcuffs while it was going on. I don't know.
Hey, but we don't kink shame over here.
I'm getting cream. Never let them hoes get in between of what we started. They loved me when I was stuck, and they hated when I departed. You could look at these lyrics, man, and you could turn them a lot of different ways. Now, he said all foreign bitches Minaj and fucking sucking and swallow.
That could just be the freak off.
Anything for $1. They tell them, get them, I got them. I don't say a word. Was on my grind. Now I got what I deserve. I don't know.
Hold on.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for?
This is how we gonna bring it in, y'all.
You ready?
I promise we're not gonna stay here to start the show. It's a basketball podcast today.
I used to pray for times like this, to rhyme like this, so I had to grind like that, to shine like this. In a matter of time I spent on some locked up shit in the back of the paddy wagon, cuffs locked on wrist. See my dreams unfold, nightmares come true. It was time to marry the game, and I said, yeah, I do. If you want it, you gotta see it with a clear eye view. Got shorty, she try and bless me like I said I do. Like a nigga sneeze, nigga please for them tricky squeeze. I'm getting cream. Never let them hoes get in between of what we started. Little nigga, but I'm lying hearted. They love me when I was stuck and they hated when I departed. I go and get it regardless. Draw it like I'm an artist. Was crawling, went straight to walking with foreigns in my garage.
Hey, what the IG comments is? Let me get in here. 3-way type shit. Pause.
They tell me get in my
That's what Diddy said.
He didn't say pause though.
This shit with my
No, he didn't.
Allegedly.
Well, that's why. I mean, that's just what he said.
Philly nigga, I'm flying.
Hey, now let me get in here.
They thought it was lease. Then I bought that new Ferrari. Hey, the rest of
Hey, once we turn up here, we gonna talk basketball. I swear.
Phantom so big, can't even fit in the parking spot. You ain't talking.
What kind of Phantom is he talking about?
Talking about gangsters moving silence, nigga. And I don't talk a lot.
I don't say a word. I don't say a word.
Fuck, nigga. Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished? When I bought ass tomorrow, y'all thought it was raining. Flexing on these niggas, I'm like Popeye on the spinach. Double M, yeah, that's my team.
That's all you do.
I'm the type of cat in the mean cat thing, grind like I'm broke. That Lambo, my new bitch, she'll ride like my ghost. I'm riding around my city with my hands strapped on my toes. Cause these niggas want me dead, and I gotta make it back home. Cause my mama need that bill money, my son needs some help. These niggas try to take my life, they fuck around, get killed. You fuck around, you fuck around, you fuck around, get smoked.
My dude. All right, y'all. We're gonna get into that a little bit later. But hey, Parlay Pete, man, how you doing, man? Huh?
I'm doing fantastic. How are we doing, AC League? I said I'm doing fantastic. How are we doing, AC League?
Man, not bad, man. Today's a great day. Life is life, and we're thriving over here. Looking forward to my grand rising in the morning to hopefully I can spread some positive energy and vibes around the great city of Albany, Georgia.
You gonna spread it around, huh?
Yeah, not too much. I'm not gonna spread it like Mika though. I ain't gonna do that now.
Okay. Noted.
Man, you want to talk some hoops, man?
It's that time of year, isn't it? We're creeping up on the playoffs. Everything, the picture's getting a little bit clearer to going to the playoffs for sure. Those teams are already out. Like, we know who ain't going, who's not going to be in the playoffs. The Western Conference is pretty much set in stone. We don't know the seeding, but the teams that are going to be in it, 1 through 10, we do know. Because Utah is the 11. Yeah, because Utah is the 11, and they're 6 games back from the Lakers. They're not going either. Like, the West is set. We know who's going to be in the 1 through 10 from the West. We just don't know the seeding.
Yeah, so where do you want to start, East or West?
Let's get into – I tell you what, the West is so much more juicier. Let's just start with the East.
All right, man. Let me pull the East up. All right,
Were you West first?
I just was looking at both, and I just toggled over to the West. So we got the Celtics sitting firmly in the 1. 8 games up on the Cavs. I don't see that changing at all.
They're going to have the best record in the league this year. They're going to be a 60-win team.
Yeah, I mean, they've played really good basketball all year, but we don't judge the Celtics by what they do in the regular season. It's, are you guys going to finally win a championship?
Yeah, because at this point we know, as of how it's set up this season, Milwaukee's about the only team that realistically could knock them off, and that's just not Doc Rivers' MO, so doesn't feel right?
Nah, and I just won't root against Jimmy Butler in the playoffs. Like, I won't bet against it, even though I don't think they should be able to beat them. But
well, look, and it's muddled up between 4 through 8 in the East, so it could be anyone. But if it stayed the way that it is right now, you get a New York Miami first round. I think it would be pretty entertaining. We know that that's like a rivalry, anyways.
Miami in 5.5.
I'm gonna be honest. I'd take the Knicks in 7. I think the Knicks are better than them. Like, when healthy, like if they have a Julius Randle and a OG Anunoby, the way that they had been playing, I think that they're better than Miami.
Yeah, I know, but Miami in 5.5.
Okay.
I don't believe in playoff Julius. And I like Spo to craft up a defense that frustrates Brunson.
You don't think Tibbs has it in him to get them guys out the first round?
Nah, I think Tibbs is going to run those guys into the dirt. They're not going to have anything left.
Come playoff time. I got you.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's the wild card with Philly. Naturally, with Embiid out there, they were like the 2. Cleveland is at the 2 right now, but that's because of how hot they've been recently. They've been hotter than like anyone. Like I think over their last 20 games, they probably only lost like 5 games. So they're like 15-5 or something.
You think they've been hotter than Meek on a Miami night with Puff?
Well, nothing's hotter than Meek on a Miami night.
Yeah, so then we got the Cavs at the 2. We got the Bucks at the 3. Those two can easily flip-flop. I mean, you look, they're both 8 games behind, but Cleveland has the better percentage. The Bucks have more wins. Then you have the Knicks 4 games back in the 4 seed. I think they're going to you talked about the 4 through 8 being muddled. I think that's kind of stay as is. Because I don't see your 9 seed Bulls or your 10 seed Hawks doing anything that anybody gives a damn about.
Yeah.
So with Boston being stuck in the 1, how do you think the matchups start going? Like, does Cleveland want to play against a 7 seed? Want to play against Yeah, golly. Do they want to play against a 7 seed Magic? You know what I mean?
Well, I think that this is how it'll end up going out. I think Orlando will end up being in that 8. I think because Indiana is not a team of the lower seeded teams. Indiana would be the team I wouldn't want to play. They play so well, and like they swept the Bucks this year. They've already swept Milwaukee. And look, I know it's regular season and that ain't the playoffs, but I don't know. That's not a team I would want to play. Halliburton, Siakam, Miles Turner. You got Obi Toppin out here doing his best T-Mac impression yesterday. Like, that would be a team I wouldn't want to play. That's a good team. And they're coached by a championship coach, which people be forgetting, that Carlisle is there. Yeah, like they have a championship coach. So that wouldn't be a team I'd want to play. They're on pace right now to have the most assists by a team per game on a per-game basis in NBA history. And, like, the other 2 teams that had it naturally were teams that won championships. It's like the 15-16 Warriors and then, like, one of those 80 Celtics teams. But I'm just saying that's a team that I wouldn't want to play in the first round like that. Ideally, you want to play Orlando. You love to play the Hawks. Like, a team that's going to go out easy. Like, I don't think that Indiana would go out quietly.
I think if Doc cares about his job, he's going to stay in that 3 seed.
Yeah, but gosh, would he want to play Philly?
Yeah.
If there's Embiid's kind of he nuts up come playoff time.
Yeah, and I don't think the big fella's
come in unhealthy too.
Yeah, I don't think the big fella's going to come back. Yeah, that Knicks Heat 4-5. I'm just going to predict that's what it's going to be.
Yeah,
because I trust the Heat more than I trust any of these other teams in the East that are close. So they may change.
Cleveland, by the way.
Huh?
Like Indiana could beat Cleveland in the first round.
Yeah. So a Cleveland question. What does Cleveland do? Like, how do they get better? Because you have all these whispers of Donovan Mitchell leaving. But why would he leave? He's a 2 seed. He's going to win 50 games.
He would leave if there's greener pastures to leave too. I mean, I don't think the Knicks thing is happening anymore because of Jalen Brunson. That's just not the player that they need. So I don't see that. I guess I'm looking at the East. Miami maybe could make a play for them somehow because they've got so many pieces low key that they could trade to make it work. Like Jaquez is a baller. Like Jaquez can play. He's not the centerpiece in the deal, of course. But like if you know that D Mitch is going to leave anyways, you're kind of just trying to get pennies on the dollar to begin with. Miami probably would be willing to give you all their picks. Who was it that they weren't trying to trade last year? They have Rozier, so he could be a part of the deal.
Hero.
Hero, like so like
I'm not coming off Hero and Hawkins. I'm trying not to come off both of them. Get Jovic.
Pat Riley's done it before. He'll do it again. But in terms of in the East, that's a team that would make sense. I know people said something about Brooklyn because that's New York. But then it's like, well, what is Brooklyn giving up? Are they going to give him – because they're not giving him Miles Bridges. Like, not Miles Bridges.
Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the alleged woman beater.
Yeah, he got cleared. No, something happened. It got settled.
Yeah, it got taken care of.
And look, Adam Silver only thought it was worth 10 games. Or, well, he got, I think, like the final 15, even though he wasn't going to play anyways.
Yeah, he didn't play all last year.
Yeah, so, yeah, now if you talk about out west, a team that could make a play on him, I don't know how it would work, but maybe OKC to put him with Shea. I don't know how it would work, but like, because Shea, I feel like Shea needs the ball in his hands, and Donovan's not going to really play off ball, so that probably doesn't work just scheme wise.
And we'll get into it on the West, but OKC's been so good. I don't know if they want to make a major shakeup like that. I feel like they want to just get it better. I don't think they want to do anything catastrophic.
Yeah.
He should just stay in Cleveland, right? And they should figure out.
There's not very many places he could go. I mean,
they should figure out what to do with Darius Garland.
Maybe the Lakers.
That's.
You know, at this point, you can't not have the Lakers in any discussion over any. Like they have to be in all discussions for any player.
Well, yeah, because LeBron's about to sign that deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, the East is pretty
type deal.
The East is pretty cut and dry, and honestly, I think that Boston's got to win a championship this year, or they're going to do something stupid. But I don't think they're a championship team. Am I crazy for thinking that? I mean, I've definitely been wrong before on my basketball takes. I'm not into the box score as much as my good friend Mr. Holsey. But just watching Boston, I don't think they're a championship team.
I think that they can be. You know what it is? They lack a strong bench. They just don't have that. They don't have a strong bench. They have arguably the best starting five in the NBA.
I don't think it's better than Denver's.
Really? Player for player?
I think the sum of the parts. If we go player for player, sure they
would be the best player on the floor, and then to me the three best players following Jokic are all on the Celtics.
Name them.
Tatum, Brown, and a lot of people aren't going to want to hear it, but really, man, Porzingis is a guy.
You think he's better than superstar Jamal Murray? Don't make me.
I think his production is good, if not better.
But I think
you got to remember too. You got to remember too. If you were to match the two teams up against each other, I guess Jokic is guarding Porzingis. Maybe. I guess that's who he would be guarding. That's who he would be guarding.
Porzingis is guarding Jokic,
and vice versa, right? That's true, but I'm just saying Jokic isn't this powerhouse defensive player either. Drew Holiday is a defensive player, and
True.
He can get buckets too if he needs to. With a guy like Jamal Murray, he's got the size to be on a dude like that. I think Boston's got the better starting five.
Who do you think wins the series, though?
Well, you have to go Denver because you've seen them do it.
Okay, just making sure your head's in the right place. So that kind of wraps.
Wait. One more thing. Here's the biggest issue with Boston is coaching. It's Joe Mazzulla. That is but I'm just saying that is why you're not really drinking the Kool-Aid. It's because of their coach. I mean, if they had a better coach, you'd probably think a lot more highly of them.
I would think more highly of them if they had Doc. And I don't know if he's a better coach.
I think he's a better coach than Joe Mazzulla. I think Joe Mazzulla doesn't know what he's doing, and that's why they went down 3-0 to the Heat. And then battled back to get a game 7 at home and then couldn't fucking finish the comeback.
If the Pistons call Boston, if Pistons call Boston to say, hey, we'll do a coach swap, and we'll still cover Monty's contract and you can cover Joe Maz's contract, who says no?
Maybe Detroit. I mean, I get it. I guess if they don't have to be on the hook for the money, the ownership's probably cheap there. So nobody says no.
All right, so we're looking here. The Hawks are sitting at the 10. Trae Young is out for 4 weeks with a finger injury, just had surgery. We get to see the DeJounte Murray show. What do you think the Hawks look like at the end of the year? Excuse me, the beginning of next year?
One of those guys is gone. And I think depending on how well the team looks with DeJounte Murray running the show, that will dictate whether or not it'll be Trae Young that's going to be the one that's gone. Because you'll be in a win-win in terms of wanting to get rid of one or the other in the offseason. Because if DeJounte does look good, at the end of the day, that's going to create more value for him and make him an even more valuable asset because everybody's going to be like, yeah, look at what he did like when Trae was out. Like, he looked great. And then, of course, Trae's value, this is about as high. Well, not as high as it's ever been, but like as high as it's going to be while he's a Hawk. You would kind of have to get rid of him like now, I think, because it's either that or he's just going to want his own way out. So that would be my thinking to trade him now, low key.
So who would you rather see gone, Trae or DeJounte?
You don't want to see Trae gone, but like, do you really have much of a choice in terms of?
No, I think the team gets better if Trae goes, but I don't know if the revenue's there.
The question is, right, to me, the real question is, what do they get in return? And so it feels like they wouldn't get much in return. Like, what would be the return for a guy like Trae? Because you're going to want, I have to imagine, you're probably trading him and somebody else in the deal. Like, are you rebuilding or are you trying to retool?
And the James Harden trade knocked out the best option.
Right, going to the Clippers.
Yeah, because you could sign and trade Paul George. That's not happening. You're not putting James Harden and Trae Young on the court together. And I'm pretty sure the Clippers are going to bring back James Harden with the way that team's looking.
Yeah.
Cleveland's not going to do it.
Let's see.
It sounds like it's a Lakers trade and we get like a Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, and
as many picks as they can throw at us.
And you're hoping you can package that up for something else later. And as I say, Trae gets you back more.
You're not in a very good. You're not in a very good position. Guard is the most competitive position in the NBA. There's only but so many teams. Unless I tell you what, and here's the thing though, you can't, because the thought would be, well, you could trade them to a bad team and like get their like talent. Like a team like Detroit would love to have Trae Young because it will maybe put some asses in seats, maybe. But like you would want to pair him with Cade. You wouldn't want to trade Cade to us on a rookie deal. Like that wouldn't work. Like,
and we don't want anybody on that roster that's not Cade.
You know, with Washington, we're not taking Jordan Poole's contract, so that won't work.
Will we want Jeremy Grant and Junk?
Like Scoot, they'd have to throw Scoot in that deal.
They're not gonna throw in Scoot. Can we try to pry?
Then we'd have to get Simons. I tell you what, if you gave us Grant and Simons,
what about Grant and Sharp?
I need a pick or something too. You're getting a 28 and 10 guy. Like,
yeah, no, I'm with you.
Like, I don't know. Like I'm gonna need more than that. Like, I need.
Would you want more than that? Would you want dominating?
If what else are we getting? Like we got to be getting the guard. One of their guards has got to be, because they would have to trade one of them anyways. And I'm not just saying Sharp. Like it'd probably have to be something, because the money's got to make sense too. I know Aiton's contract would work. We'd probably send them Hunter too. Like, we'd probably be getting rid of somebody. Like, because look at all the guards that Portland has. They've got Scoot, Simons, Brogdon, and Sharp. Yeah, like they're gonna have to send some guards our way. It could work. That could maybe work. Like, that could work, because Capella's deal is expiring, I think, this year.
Yeah, we really fumbled the bag by not getting rid of him.
You just be letting him walk, though. Yeah, you're letting him walk for nothing, and he still holds value in the NBA because he can rebound
and deter people from dunking.
He's a short center, though.
Is that an old fashioned?
It is. How'd you know?
I saw the bottom of the glass. Is it up to the Holsey standard?
No, I didn't smoke it or anything. But I did use cherries. Of course, I skinned the orange, some water, alkaline water at that. I didn't use Fulton County water. So I actually splashed it with, alkaline water to give it a little bit, fuller taste, make it bolder.
We got date night tomorrow. We're going to this new spot called Decanter. They better have an amazing old fashioned.
Yeah, but are they going to charge you $18 for it? $20?
She's paying.
Oh, well, there you go. You don't have to worry about it. I saw something on Instagram where it says I'd never watch my woman pay, and then the dude basically was just covering his eyes while the transaction was going on. I thought it was funny.
I'll watch that shit in 1080p, baby. I like to be wine and dine too. Shit. But man, let's jump to the West. So we got the Timberwolves sitting in the 1 right now. They're half a game up on the Thunder. We have the Nuggets, the best team in the league, sitting at the 3. We have the Clippers sitting at a comfortable 4. The Suns in the 5. The Pelicans in the 6. But we're talking about percentage points between 5 and 6. We got the Mavs in the 7, also 34-25. So the Suns are 34-24. The Pelicans are 35-25. The Mavs are 34-25. The Kings are 33-25. So that 8-5 is.
That's where the change is, because I don't see too much changing in the top 4 unless somebody just collapses. But I think
the Clippers are on an upward trajectory.
Yeah, they're going to keep winning games. So they would have a chance to, maybe if OKC or somebody starts losing, like OKC dropped, they had a bad loss today.
Yeah, that's the Spurs.
Yeah, so that's a bad loss. If you get more of that, I could see maybe a little change in that top 4, like Denver takes the 2, and maybe even the Clippers and Thunder have the same record for the 3 or something. Something like that could happen. But the change is going to be between 5 and 8. I don't think anything's going to change with that 9 and 10. I think Golden State and LA are going to be in that play-in game. I do think that is exactly what's going to happen, which we got that 2 years ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
So
the West play-in is the Mavericks, the Kings, the Warriors, and the Lakers. Maybe the Pelicans fall there. I doubt the Suns fall into the play-in.
I feel like Sacramento is the one that gets out of it. I think New Orleans and Dallas are going to be that 7 and 8. I think Sacramento is better than both of them.
So if we have Lakers, Warriors, Dallas Pelicans play in. And let's just say the Pelicans and Dallas are the 7 and the 8. We're gonna take the Pelicans over Dallas. We're gonna take Dallas over the Pelicans, right?
Is the game in Dallas?
Nah, it's gonna be in New Orleans.
Ooh. You know, to me, New Orleans has the better team, player for player. But, of course, the better duo is in Dallas. And I would probably take Dallas. In a one-game winning you're in, I would take Luka and Kyrie to show up, yeah.
Lakers 9 and 10. We're taking the Lakers, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to bet against LeBron. I stopped doing that.
And then Lakers versus
Pelicans. Give me LeBron. We already saw it in the play-in. They beat the dog shit out of them in that game.
So here's where it gets interesting, right? This is a year where I could see the Nuggets kind of doing what they're doing so they can hang out in that 3-4 range. And I could see the Lakers and the Mavericks upsetting the 1 and 2. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm not predicting it.
Remains Minnesota, OKC. Yeah, there's a good chance one of them gets knocked out for sure.
I can see both of them get knocked out.
Do you want to know it's going to be the zesty if it does remain that way? I mean, a Clippers Suns.
Sign me up.
You know how fucking bro, because you start talking about we're getting a Western Conference Final-esque matchup in round 1. Because you start, what happens to the team who loses? What happened? Like the Clippers, Kawhi just read up. So Kawhi's there. We know Kawhi's there. PG is not read up yet, and Harden will be a free agent. Like, what do you do if you're the Clippers and you lose that series?
No, I don't think you do anything. I think you try to fill in your gaps. Like
if the one year that these motherfuckers, if the one year that these motherfuckers are healthy, they can't get out the first round, you got to do something.
I don't think you have to, though. I say, hey, we get a full training camp. We try to get a better center. Maybe we can get like a Capella on a minimum. You know what I mean?
If you're gonna keep Harden, yeah, like I would be trying to make it. I would be trying to. Here's the thing. See, now that's where it would get interesting. Like, depending on how much money James Harden wants, as well as he's playing, if you lose in the first round, I look at it this way if I'm them. I try to force maybe some sort of a sign and trade. You try and get Trae Young, maybe that's who you go after. And in a weird way, you can make something weird work here where, I don't know, you make it maybe like a 3-team deal where
James Harden in Atlanta is a problem.
I know, and that's what I was going to say, but it works out for the city. Everybody kind of wins. The Hawks retain a star, albeit probably headed towards the twilight of his career. You still get a star. He's a very recognizable face, like in the NBA. He loves strip clubs. He'd be perfect for Atlanta if we're talking cultural fit. Like,
I mean, if the Falcons are running the show, hey, sign, sealed, deliver. Get this guy here. You know, we might become. Just think about it, Parlay Pete, because I'll be living in the area by then. We might become friends with James Harden.
Yeah. If we little baby, probably be sharing them with gifts for coming to.
Oh man! Little baby.
He does it anyways, and he's not in it.
Little baby might buy him a condo.
Hell, he might try and buy my spot and say, "We need the closest thing to Magic. we need a bird's eye view on Magic City." Could happen.
Oh, but no, that will be that might be the series of the playoffs, first round.
Oh man.
Think about the star power.
Right?
You got KD, who's averaged 30 a game. You've got Brad Beal, who's averaged 30 a game. You've got Book, who could average 30 a game. James Harden, who's averaged, huh?
7.
7.
It's a 7-game series.
Oh, fuck yeah. You got Harden, who's averaged 30. Russ, who's averaged 30, Kawhi and Paul George, who can just get buckets. Like, what's that? Nine potential Hall of Famers on the court,
Yeah.
and then a Koji and Plumlee.
Man, look, I think we're looking at arguably one of the most epic. The last time we had an epic first round series, when it comes to like star power like that, and this is one of those years too where you might get it to where the top 8 teams are all 50-win teams. It might be. If you look at it, the Sacramento theoretically they can win 50 games. Like I'm looking at this, at their 33-25. That would mean they would have to go 17-7 the rest of the way. That's possible. Like that could happen, is what I'm saying. I don't know what their schedule looks like, but that's it's not out of the realm of possibility.
We've seen crazier shit.
Yeah, and we haven't had that since the 2009 playoffs when, like I said, you had the Denver Nuggets as a 50-win 8 seed going against the fucking Lakers, who won like 57, 58 games that year, 59 games maybe.
I'll tell you what, man. The West playoffs is going to be great because you got so much mix of young and old that the records don't tell you the story. Because you look at the Timberwolves, they can't close a game to save their life. I mean, I think Meek's more wide open than Philly. When Diddy pulls up, then they are in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, well,
Look,
they didn't get any more open than Meek in Philly.
You know what? I think I think he's pretty conservative in Philly because he's at home around the guys. It's just when he gets to Miami and LA is when he gets a little.
In Atlanta.
Oh yeah, or when he's in prison. He cries over losing the set. But yeah, it's gonna be funny to watch the jockeying because I can see the Clippers trying to get to that 3
to avoid the Phoenix match, right? Like,
yeah,
God, because even if you get Denver Phoenix, oh man, and that's rivalry at this point.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. That would be Dallas Phoenix, more of the rivalry. But
Denver Phoenix
too. Yeah, the when Phoenix beat Denver, yeah. The dude he was like he's a 4 or whatever.
And
there's bad blood there with Jokic and
the Suns can beat anybody in a 7-game series.
Yeah, no matter what seed they are.
Healthy Suns can beat anybody. It doesn't matter what court we're on. When you're talking about Kevin Durant, when you're talking about Devin Booker, you're talking about a healthy Brad Beal. These niggas are buckets. Like you could have a night where those 3 give you 94.
And Bol, as odd as this sounds, he's starting to really kind of come into it a little. Nurkic, really solid center.
Grayson Allen leading the league in 3-point percentage.
Eric Gordon could get hot. I mean, he could get hot. He's the type of guy that can give you 15 a night off the bench.
So I got a question for you. Who's the MVP this year?
To me, it's Jokic as of right now.
No argument out of me.
I hate to go chalk like that, but I mean, he's the best player in the league, and he shows it. Jamal Murray's missed quite a few games this year again, and Jokic, he's still just handling business. I mean, triple-double. I don't even know what does he have tonight? Let's see. What is he doing?
Well, winning.
They're up, but what's he doing? What's he doing over here? He's got conservative game kind of. He's got 12, 10, and 7. So he's not having a huge night, but doesn't need to. Who's got all the points then for Denver? Hold on. Oh, okay. Michael Porter's got 30. So there it is. I was wondering. I was looking at who's on the floor, and I'm like, man, none of these guys really have that many points. I was like, who's scoring all the points? Michael Porter's having the night. So
you don't have Jason Tatum as a MVP candidate?
I mean, he certainly is in the discussion. His team's got the best record in the league, and he's the best player on the team. That always will have you in that discussion. So, yeah, I mean, I certainly would put him in it. He's averaging 27, 8.5 boards, and 5 assists. Those are MVP numbers for sure. I mean, but nothing is just popping out at me that's saying MVP. Like,
never heard him.
What about Shea?
Shea's another guy where it's kind of quiet though. Like his shit's not loud enough in a weird way. Like
his outfits are though. His IG captions are.
I tell you what, you know who probably deserves a little bit more love too. Then if you're gonna throw him in, Ant-Man.
I mean, yeah.
Ant-Man. Ant-Man's he's giving you 20, almost 27. So that's just, I'll round up 27, 5, and 5.
And you see it on the court. When you watch him, you see
Minnesota. Yeah. And Minnesota went from being an 8 seed last year to, now they're the 1 this year. So, and it's hard to do what he's doing in Minnesota because we've only seen one other player do it.
Ticket.
Yeah.
Do you think Minnesota could win a championship this year?
Not this year. I think they're ahead of schedule.
Do you think OKC can make the Western Conference Finals? Because I don't.
I think Minnesota has a better chance of doing it than they do.
Okay.
I'm not as good as OKC is. I'm not drinking their Kool-Aid yet. I would drink more of Minnesota's because they have Conley and Gobert, guys that have played a lot of playoff ball. And it's like if Cat can just be more consistently good, like good, like kind of like he's shown flashes of being, that is a team that could be scary because of that alone. Like, because think about it. This was originally Cat's team, and like it's not Cat's team anymore. It's definitely Anthony Edwards' team now.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
But like Cat, it was supposed to be Cat's team. Like this was supposed to be Cat's team, and like Cat can still be a 24-9 guy, too. Even with Gobert down there getting 13, 14 boards a game, he can still be a 24-9 dude with Gobert on the floor. Mike Conley is the perfect point guard for a team like this. Veteran dude. He's played a ton of playoff basketball. He can make a shot if you need him to, but he's there to truly facilitate the team. He's there to really run that offense.
Yeah.
And bring the leadership. He's the vet. Gobert's a vet, but like Mike Conley's the vet. So it works out perfect. My question for them is coaching too, though. How good is their coach in reality? I don't know. To me, the playoffs is when that stuff shows.
I mean, they gave Denver their toughest series last year.
They did. And it only went 5. but at the same time, coaching matters in the playoffs. And that's why a guy like Spo and the Heat, why you kind of said you like them against the Knicks in a theoretical matchup. Hell, last year, that's why Spo was able to take the 8 to the championship because, the Heat aren't that much more talented than anyone at all.
No.
Jimmy Butler gets special in the playoffs, and Spo coaches his ass off. That's the recipe. They have a guy that they can lean on that they don't lean on all year. Like Jimmy Butler is a 23, 22 a night guy. But come playoff time, he elevates his game to be a 30 dude if he needs to be, while also stopping the best player on the team that is below 6'9".
Or Giannis.
Well, I mean, Bam was kind of guarding Giannis, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
But in previous years, Jimmy understood.
Jimmy, like putting his fucking forearm up to his back, like, come on, do it, and then taking a charge and then getting up, clapping.
And Charlie Pete, he understood the assignment.
Yeah. Well, one thing's for sure, it wasn't Texas, so he couldn't hold him. So,
what are your thoughts? You know what? I don't even want to ask you your thoughts on this. I want to play it. I want the viewers to know what we're talking. See if I can find it. Caitlin Clark declared for the WNBA draft as if we didn't know she was going to do that.
well, there was questions because she might make more money at Iowa.
Let's see. Yeah, Lee shared a lot of posts this week. No, I don't want to hear about Russell Wilson. What? Here we go.
I was like 13.
There we go.
Slept in the bed with my mom till I was like 13. I was such a mama's boy. Like anytime her friends would come over and they would be playing spades at the table, like I would fall asleep on her lap because I like had separation anxiety. Like I never wanted to be away from my mom. Slept in the bed with my mom till I was.
You know, there's so many routes that I think we can go with this. I think there's a healthy route that we can go. But then there's also a route that we can really go that people will tell us that we're insensitive. But, you know, there's a part of me that says, why the fuck are you telling the world this? Like, what made you think when you sat across from Taylor Rooks that this was the thing to say to her? And I don't know your mom. You know what? From the looks of it, she did a great job raising you. I mean, you're a great basketball player. I mean, you're 6'8". You have your son with you all the time. The world knows Deuce. But big dog, fuck you doing laying in your mama bed when you're with a hard dick? You know what I'm saying? Like your dick get hard now. Fuck you doing laying in your mama bed? You ain't trying to slip. You know, slip one out before you go to sleep. An old sticky sock. You know, I ain't judging your mom for pops not being there. But what happened if Uncle Grady want to come over? Ah man, Jason, he got to sleep with us.
You know, I mean, I guess it would just depend on their dynamic. Obviously, she was all right with it. To each his own. Like I said, it's not something that I would condone.
No. Don't say to each his own. Tell the truth.
I am telling the truth. It's like I said, it's not something that I would condone. I wouldn't condone it. I think it speaks to my actions. I didn't sleep in my mom's bed till I was 13. Granted, mom, you know, my dad was sleeping there too. But like at the same time, even if my mom was a single mom, I wouldn't have did it. But like, wouldn't have done that. I won't allow it with my child. And certainly if I have a son, won't allow it with him. But it's one of those things where I don't know what their dynamic is like. Like, I mean, I get it. I consider myself a mama's boy. I ain't that much of a mama's boy. But, you know, I don't know what their dynamic was like in reality. I don't know. So it's like there has to be like
you need a man in that house. If mama wants a warm bed, and I take this off Jason Tatum, I'm speaking just in general. If mama wants a warm bed, it's not for the son to fill that role. You know, like nah, he's there to be a child. He's there to be nurtured by mom, taken care of, and developed into a man. And I'm not saying he didn't. In this situation, I'm not saying he didn't develop into a man. I grew up single parent home. I couldn't just sleep in my mom's bed willy nilly. I was barely allowed in my mama's room. Like I ain't just walk up in there like, "Oh, mom, what you doing?" You better not. You better not. Talking about. And Charleston White talks about this, like one of the problems in the black community is that a lot of times the moms want to make their son daddy instead of letting the son be son and develop into that and having daddy there. Because, like you said, the mom allows it.
Yeah.
Which
And
means
that's where the dynamic of it comes in to play for
which,
me.
which where she enjoys it. She likes that warmth, that comfort. Like, dog, if my mama's friends or cousins and stuff came over and they in the living room, they in the kitchen doing adult stuff, my ass was in the room. I can't fall asleep in my mama's lap when they at the spades table. Like, no, young fella, get your ass out here. Go play the game. Go get on your computer. Go do some kid stuff.
Yeah.
Stay out grown folks.
And more importantly, I'm not wanting to do it, right? Because I'm wanting to be on my own. I'm wanting to play the video game. I'm not wanting to sit there and listen to y'all talk shit and play cards. Like, I don't want to be a part of that. Like, man, I'm trying to get my NCAA football dynasty. I'm trying to take North Texas to the top, bro. Like, I'm trying to finesse the fucking Kansas City Chiefs giving me Patrick Mahomes, and all I do is give him a first and a guy that I drafted the year before that had a good year. Like, that's what I'm trying to do. Or I tell you what, at the time, let me not use Patrick Mahomes because he's a player now, but like, I'm trying to get Peyton Manning off the fucking Colts. I'm trying to put him in a Falcons uniform. Like, what are we talking about? Like,
I'm trying to pair Randy Moss and Tom Brady before it actually happened.
Yeah, while in my franchise mode, I'm raising the price of hot dogs to $15 a dog. Like, like that's what I'm trying to do. Beers are $20. Like, nigga, that I want to see how that affects my fucking bottom line when the team is.
I'm trying to change these jerseys to some mid shit that I created that look terrible, using my old high school colors, or at that point, my future high school's colors. We got us a game right now in Denver, don't we?
Yeah, we do. But that are the virtual reality field goal posts. Do you remember that? Like, there was one that would be like virtual reality that would like come up out of the ground. It was a virtual field goal post. You could, and when you were making a new stadium, you could have a virtual field goal post as like one of the upgrades. It's pretty cool.
I mean, that's what I was doing, and I remember the one year, my mom, but back before Madden got the monopoly, she said, NFL 2K is $20. Madden is $50. I got NFL 2K. I got T.O., the Eagles, Brian, Westbrook, Donovan, throw up in the huddle ass, hyperventilating ass McNabb. Him and Jason Tatum, they probably get along real well. But I got them, and I'm playing that first player mode. I don't know if you played it, but they had like a first person mode where it's like my player, right? Where you like are locked on the player, but it's in the team setting.
Some people are of the belief, there are a lot of people that believe that the 2K was better anyways, because it had Chris Berman doing the thing. Well, now look, it depends on what Madden we're going against, because that one with T.O. was like 2K5, right?
Yeah.
Nothing beats 05 Madden with Ray Lewis when Hit Stick got introduced.
04 Madden was the best Madden. Stop it.
Nah, bro. So 05.
The Hit Stick was nice.
The Hit Stick changed the game. That and then the quarterback precision shit, like that changed it.
But here's the thing about 2K though. 2K had their version of the Hit Stick, and they also had the truck stick. If I remember correctly, they had the truck stick before Madden did.
Yeah.
So like it was
camps, like the mini camp shit, bro. Like
they
man, the Madden tour bus coming through, you having to run with Clinton Portis on drills, like you're throwing with Peyton Manning, then you go up to the next level of running back as fucking Marshall Faulk, like getting that bitch. Bro, Madden used to be so fun.
Hey, there was a chick we went to school with. We used to refer to her as Marshall Faulk.
I want to say, I want to ask why, but I feel like I know why.
She came to college with 28 bodies.
Oh, I didn't think it was a number thing. I just thought that she was a runner, a track star. But
boy, you beat me to it. I was about to sing it. She the runner, she the track star. Oh shit!
She told everybody she never said that.
I think she told some people in confidence, and I just happened to be in a confidential relationship with those same people.
Oh.
She has some upside though.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Hey, when we were talking basketball, we didn't talk about Jordan Poole being cheeks.
He sucks.
So I was listening to Colin Cowherd yesterday.
Worst contract in the NBA.
Yeah, one of the worst I've seen.
Yeah.
But I remember when they gave it to him, I said, they're doing this just to trade him for somebody of value, and they end up getting Chris Paul. I was listening to Colin Cowherd yesterday, and he was talking about Jordan Poole being cheeks and how, Draymond got painted as this big bad guy for punching him. And he's not saying punching's okay. But he was like, here's my line when I talk basketball with people. If you don't think Draymond Green's a good basketball player, then I can't talk hoops with you because you don't understand basketball. You're just Josh Holsey looking at the box score.
That's Josh Holsey, though. I mean, love him or hate him, he's going to give you that box score report.
Box score, red zone. That's him.
Yeah. Now, let alone you let some guys be at the game and tell you exactly what happened, how it happened, why that looks this way, why that player had this because they had that one big play in the game. And then, he'll tell you, no. He's like, well, I looked at the box score and
y'all got he tore Shell on the ground. No, he didn't. He
had two big runs, and every other carry he averaged like 1.7 for the game.
He broke one. He broke a 35-yarder on a 1st and 20 from their 10. They still punted on that drive.
And then on the other one, there was a questionable hold that didn't get called. Like the Will Levis. Now, Will Levis did kind of torch us, but we all know that DeAndre Hopkins got away with offensive PI on one of them 60-yard passes. And it was blatant as hell. And it's like DeAndre Hopkins ended up with 120 yards, 3 touchdowns on 4 catches. But one of them, you wipe that out. We not only do we win the game probably, but he had 60 less yards and 1 less touchdown.
Oh man, boy, y'all got torched by Hopkins. Nah, there was a blown coverage on one. He did what DeAndre Hopkins does and won a 50-50 ball in the other one. He manhandled the guy, and then
Then the third one, it was offensive PI, and they didn't.
Yeah, I know you didn't see it on Red Zone because they were big plays, and Red Zone doesn't show big plays because they wait till you get in scoring position. But I know. More
importantly, you were too busy watching the Eagles beat the Commanders. Yeah, the fuck,
You know what? I think I'm going to cut this up.
You should. I don't see why.
And you know what's going to happen? Julian Turner, Joe Boykin's going to send it to the group.
Yeah. And then Josh is going to say, he's like, get some new content.
Hey, dog, we're doing a 3-hour show.
Hey, make him the thumbnail too for it. So that when people see the thumbnail, it's but you have to get a picture of him drunk or something. It's gotta be an unflattering photo. They would use that photo of you where you're the deer in the headlights. He would use that for you if it was me and him doing the show. You have to find a photo like that. It is what it is.
You know what? Fuck you for making for taking that video and stopping at the right point to make the picture.
No, it was perfect. It was perfect. And the only reason I even brought it up is because You know how on iPhone it'll like memories will pop up in like one of those like, widgets. That photo was one of the ones that popped up in mine today. So I saw it today, so of course I thought about that. But
I drank a lot that night, but you know what I found out, Parlay Pete?
what's that?
I have a gastrointestinal issue that requires me to take medication every day. And I was not taking that medication then, and that's why I vomited, and that's the story I'm sticking to.
I'm legally blind.
Man,
See
I
you
do
sound
miss,
right now.
I miss the San Diego strip club scene, man.
Why?
Quality women, and you can have a good time spending $100. Like you can build a relationship spending $100.
Yeah. Quick.
I won't say quick, but you also got to be cool, not be thirsty. But yeah, it was
Yeah, hungry nigga, huh?
nah. Do we care about Chris Paul not going to the Heat because he and D Wade were beefing over the number 3?
I don't believe that fucking story, anyways.
Last thing in basketball that matters. It came up this week. Court storming was a problem, apparently. What, Flip Kapowski?
Yeah.
He should play 4 years of college basketball just because of his name.
You think he could be the next Psycho T?
Sure. I don't watch college basketball.
Yeah, but you know who Psycho T is.
Yeah, Tyler Hansbrough, back when I watched college basketball.
Yeah. Psycho T, He could be the next Psycho T, but for Duke.
Sure. Win 2
He
natties.
doesn't play with enough edge. Because Tyler Hansbrough, his days at UNC, he played with that edge. Tyler Hansbrough was like, he was like not as famous, but in terms of what he represented for UNC and college basketball, he's like Tim Tebow at the time.
That's crazy because that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. He played with that edge, like that. Let's go, like that shit, like
that edge that if you were like actually like really good and you're black, you're like, hey, big dog, chill out, man. It ain't that serious.
Well, I think if you remember, he was like bleeding in one game, like the fucking wrestling fucking splatter.
Yeah. He caught the elbow from Gerald Henderson from Duke.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Tyler. It's okay. I look at Tyler Hansbrough, Tim Tebow, those types.
Yeah. Great right hopes.
No, I mean, yeah, sure, but we knew they weren't going to do it on the next level. They're like the homecoming king in high school. They peaked in college.
Yeah.
Now their peak probably going to be higher than my peak. But I peaked later, goddammit. I'll take that to the bank. But yeah, court storming. It's a thing. People are saying they should stop it, and I'm saying y'all should shut up. We sell booze at college games now. What the fuck do you expect to happen? Kids are going to storm the court. That's beautiful. It's pageantry. It's what we care about in sports, and that's what we lose in professional sports. Like the passion behind it. Like the student section, that's something, Like the Falcons try that bullshit ass fan section. Give a fuck about that.
Hawks do it too.
Good for them. Like if the Falcons said, "Hey, we'll save you $2,000 on your season tickets, but you got to move to the fan section," would you do it?
They would do what for me?
Save you $2,000 on your tickets, but you got to go to the fan section.
No, because my seats are better.
You get front row, right next to Tigger.
Not good enough for me. I like my seats better.
I'm next to the fan section, and I never want to be in the fan section. Ever.
You don't want to swag surf with them?
Nigga, no. I don't even swag surf like that during the games. I got to be like really drunk and having a good time, like with one of my friends to swag surf. Nah, you gotta hit the Boosie.
Oh, you got a tap dance?
You know, Boosie really reminded me of Boosie reminded me of like a Greek 3-letter organization the way he was acting on the court the other day at the Hawks game.
Boozy. That's what Bob Rathman calls him. He's like our main man, Boozy.
Hey, you got anything else on hoops you want to hit before we transition to football?
No, but I did just send you. I see that Tyler Hansbrough is alive, so I sent you that. Then I also sent you something else that I think you might be.
Hello.
I know, right? Oof.
I'll take my shoes off. Walking nature.
Yeah. It came up on the popular page, and at first of course, then I saw whose page it was, but you can't see that on the popular page. You just see that, and then you're like, well, what is this? And then you see who it is, and you're like, gosh.
Yeah, I see why she's that milkshake. Yeah, bring some to the farm.
Yeah.
Thing looks natural too. I thought I saw some.
It is. It is. She looks natural in general.
Yeah, like she might not shave, and she uses like natural deodorant and stuff.
Probably goes ridiculous in the sack though. I think the last thing I heard was that Bill Murray was stroking her, and I was just like, how?
He's funny.
Is Bill fucking? I mean, Bill's like 70. Got to be in his set. Bill Murray's got to be in his. I tell you, he looks like he's in his 70s.
Cialis and
yeah, Bill Murray's 73. I mean,
Cialis and Viagra. They make billions.
I get it, but Bill's 73.
You think? How much work do you think you have to do with her?
How much work do you think, Bill or myself?
I'm saying if you meet her in the sack, how much work do you have to do to get off yourself?
Oh, probably not very much, but like I would want to do some work. Well, it's a pleasure to get fucked, but it's also nice to do the fucking, like to actually fuck someone. So like with her, I'd have to be. Just give me 15 minutes. That's because I want to savor it too. Like,
give me 7.
Give me 15 because I got to get five foreplay, both of us on each other, 5 of her with me, and then 5 of me doing her, and then that's where we end it.
Okay. You're talking about 15 with foreplay. I'm talking about 7 of
just straight stroke, huh?
Yeah. I'm gonna need a honey pack and a bottle of tequila.
Me and Mr. Turner, the last time he was here, we went into a sex shop. There was a woman with us, and we bought gummies. Apparently, give you a direction. I actually got to try it 2 nights ago.
Do you recommend?
I do. It took a little bit longer to kick in, and I figured it maybe would. It was more so it wasn't getting me. I was already ready anyways. That's why I took one, because I just knew. But it was really during the boning process, because I didn't bone immediately. But I already knew that it was coming. So I was already like meaty. And then like, let's say about 45 minutes later is when it started to happen. But in the mid stroke is when I felt the jolt of like, and then like, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm fucking the shit out of her, like, or whatever. And
You know what?
then you want to go, like, put it this way, I forced myself to finish, if that makes any sense.
You know
Like,
what?
I could have kept going, is what I'm saying.
I've heard that those things are like built for round 2.
Yeah, oh, for sure. I'm gonna be honest with you. It kind of lasted. Like I wasn't hard, but it like lasted the next day to where I kept being meaty, and I was kind of like horny, like a little bit, like I felt like I could have sex again. Like I was kind of ready. Like because typically, I know at least for me, like typically when I'm done having sex, bro, like I'm drained. Like I might be drained the next day, but nah, not this time. I was ready to fuck some, but I wasn't like hard. It was just
no. You had a good medium and like any like yeah
it was sensitive. Any slight touching would
like
get me a boner like quickly.
Yeah. I've heard.
So I do recommend. I guess long short answer. Yes.
Yeah, I've heard. And
because it's like taking an edible though. It's like an edible version of it. Because it tastes good. It tastes like a gummy bear, like like a normal gummy bear. But like,
what do you think? What do you think Khalees tastes like?
Natural vegetables with the dirt on them.
Hey, oh, that's good. You know that like natural human scent that is like everything that you've been conditioned to believe is not attractive but's attractive.
Natural human scent.
Yeah.
Well, musk does not smell good. There's no.
I'm not talking about
no way
musk.
around that.
I'm not talking about musk. I'm just talking about like a natural human scent. No additives.
Flesh.
No. Yes, just the way the human body smells. Not following, are you?
You're saying that it's supposed to be a turn on?
Yeah.
Well, it is. If you've got an ass in your face and it's a cleaned ass, yeah, I know what that smell. I know what it is, so it makes me like like.
Got you feeling like Meek on in the 305.
Oh man, no, we know Meek. Meek's all about his celly, nigga. That which when we get to that, because I know we're gonna get. I know we got football to knock out real quick, but there is no getting around that. There is no getting around that.
No, let's close that hour 1 though. Let's close that hour 1. Hey guys, we got a little bit off topic. Hour 1 is over. Hey, Parlay Pete, let's start hour 2, man. Because hour 1, like, I'll tell you what, man. Hour 1, you almost got me going down a rabbit hole that I typically don't go down on this podcast because I don't really talk about my past from like
yes,
4 years ago, and I usually stay away from that. But then when you send them fucking cakes, and I feel like what I'm saying? I feel like the baker's man, you know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure this shit is good. It's good for the people.
Hey,
I don't want nobody enjoying a cake that looks bad, that looks good, but don't taste good. You know what I'm saying? I got to make sure that the cake is right.
Well, that's why, like I said, for me, it was one of those things. Wow. And then you click on that, and then this is the next thing that pops up. Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and send it to me.
Yeah, because, it was the next thing that popped up. And so I'm like, it is. What
was that one song? Good Googly Moogly. That thing is juicy.
Yeah. But think about it. That would mean that her post, that was the next thing in the algorithm because it's like, oh, this is why you watch this post. This had nothing to do with these peas or whatever this bitch is looking at in this.
Well, I mean, but that speaks to what we talk about on social media when the girl is like, "Look at my shoes," but she's bent over, and it's like, "Yo,
Right.
short, your
Like,
shoes."
I really need to get my hair done. And then it's like, but it's the meme of Principal Skinner bent over. It's like that's the picture of the hair, and it's just like her hair is not even in the fucking photo.
Jamal Murray didn't come back into the game, by the way, and Michael Porter Jr. was happy. He was like, "Oh, no superstar. It's my time." All right, man. Let's go.
Holds so much value in the league.
Huh?
Michael Porter holds so much value in the league.
Yeah.
He's the type of player that a lot of people want. Like
when
a lot of Porter kind of could be. I was gonna say like Lamar Odom, but maybe even slightly better in a weird way. A little inconsistent shooting, but he's an inconsistent. He's like an inconsistent shooter, like 3-point shooter at least. But
imagine
he could be Lamar Odom.
Imagine Michael Porter and LaMelo Ball playing together.
There'd be a lot of niggas not knowing who's who if you're a white guy you watch. But nah, that'd be nice. That would be nice.
Because what I don't think gets acknowledged. It is acknowledged by his contract. Michael Porter could score more points on a night-to-night basis on a different team.
He'd be a 25-a-night dude with the Pistons, even with Cade. Put it this way, he's a better player than Kyle Kuzma. And I like Kyle Kuzma, but he's better than Kyle Kuzma. But Kyle Kuzma is basically the leading scorer on the Wizards.
Yeah, because Jordan Poole is cheeks.
Yeah. Denny Etcheverry, nigga, is probably second in scoring on that team. That's how poor that team is.
Denny Avdia?
Yeah, whatever. I'd say Etcheverry. The Israeli player.
Now, how would you feel if somebody called you Paris?
I've dealt with it before. I've lived.
I just want you to know that you're a fucking prick.
Not a prick.
You only post new shit on Snapchat when you're doing something really cool. Or you post memories of you doing shit really cool.
It's not the same content. It's always completely different content.
Nigga, I know. I watch them.
Yeah.
I just go, this fucking prick.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, dog, you are like a very low-key active social media guy. Like, you're active on Twitter. I doubt that you tweet.
Oh, I do tweet, though. With no followers, I tweet, yeah. In terms of actually putting out content, I use Twitter more than any of them.
I know you're active on Instagram, but you don't post.
No. I don't know if I'll ever post a picture again on Instagram.
Like, I know I don't even invite you to collaborate on the pics when I put them out because I know you just don't post on your page.
I'm somebody that I'm weird about posting stuff, but like if I'm not really out of town, and even if I'm out of town, I don't really post. I'll post like one or two things when I'm out of town. I don't like go through my day of, whoa, this is what I'm doing, like type shit. But
I got a question for you.
I don't know. I'm weird about like posting stuff.
This got sent to me about 10 minutes ago. Is Drew Holiday the Kevin Durant of Pat Bev's?
Is Drew Holiday the Kevin Durant of Pat Bev's? I don't think it's fair to say that like Pat Bev is like a lower, that Drew Holiday and Pat Bev are the same type of player. Like, yes, they are the same type of player, but but Drew Holiday's an all-star. Like, he's been an all-star. And he's been an all NBA. I guess Pat Bev's been all defensive NBA, but like,
Hold on, I got another one for you.
Not fair.
I got
Not
another one
fair.
for you. Kyle Korver is the Tim Duncan of Max Strus's.
What's with these comparisons of other NBA players?
I don't know. It just came to my
within a genre of player.
It came to my inbox. I got another one for you. Ben Wallace is the LeBron James of Robert Williams.
No, I'm not touching this.
Yeah, somebody should have told Meek that. Monte Ellis was the Allen Iverson of Deion Waiters.
All right, let's move on. We're past the NBA.
I got two more. I got two more. Taco Fall is the Killian Hayes of Victor Wembanyama's.
I get what they're saying. I'm not.
Yeah, Sengun is the Jokic of Walker Kessler's. That one sucked. That wasn't funny.
That wasn't a good one because they could have just said that Sengun is the, I don't know, the fucking baby version of Jokic. Like, I don't know. Like,
all right, let's get to football.
We are all here to do what Malcolm do. Here's what we're doing. We're gonna run this out. I got you. We're getting ready to run the piss out football. Trying to get something going. I got you.
Hey man, look, our coach Raheem Morris, baby. Anyways, he came out and he had some comments, and he pretty much said, "Hey, if our quarterback play was better, I probably wouldn't be here today." You talk about Christmas in fucking February. Talk about Christmas and Black History Month, even though Black History Month is over and we didn't acknowledge it on this podcast because we live Black History Month every day. I was just overjoyed that Raheem and Terry as well, but Raheem at the combine made it very clear. Desmond Shitter is getting off the pot. And I don't think we're giving this guy a visor or a clipboard either. Because to publicly call out the quarterback play means we don't give a fuck about how you feel, which means we don't want you here.
I think that Coach Raw, because that's what they're calling him now, right? He's Coach Raw.
Oh, he's a rah-rah guy.
Yeah, Coach Raw. It's so funny. When I hear him talk sometimes, I'm like, gosh, I could tell that you work with Dan Quinn because you kind of sound like some of the shit that he be saying. It does. Like, if you read some of the interviews and like kind of some of the, and I get it, we're not in the season yet, but like, I was just like, these Dan Quinn-isms that this nigga's using. I was like, it's all over again. But I think that they're trying to keep that as close-knit as possible in reality. And I think that they're just saying this ambiguous shit like fit for the city. Because when you say that, it sounds like you're saying you want a black quarterback. And then that.
No, I didn't bring that out. What do you mean fit for the city?
Well, the best fit for the city. Okay, well, Atlanta's pretty much a black city. Yeah, there's plenty of white people here too, but this is a black city, right? Culturally, it's hip-hop, it's swag surf every third quarter. These are the things that's the city that he's talking about. Like, he's talking about that. That's what I take away from it. But then he also says somebody that's going to be a good fit for the pieces that we already have in place. Like, these are things he said in the interview that I heard on 929. And it is somewhat ambiguous because it's just like, well, who would that be, coach? And then Zach Klein comes on today and he's at the combine, and obviously, he's like WSB TV Channel 2's top sports guy. He said that the rumblings around there, he said he spoke to many GMs, and he said that everybody believes the Falcons are going to be going after Kirk Cousins.
I like that. I think that's a fit for the Braves.
I like it too because I think it means that we want to win right now.
But I also think it speaks to a redeeming quality about Raheem Morris as a defensive coach. He was our pass game coordinator, right?
He was the wide receivers coach.
I want to say he was the pass game coordinator.
They switched him. He was DC. He was DC the year that he took over interim. But he switched sides of the ball twice. He was the wide receivers coach, I know.
So 2016, 2019, he was assistant head coach, wide receivers coach, and offensive pass game coordinator before he took over as the DC. So with him being the pass game coordinator, that lets me know he has a great feel for offensive football, obviously.
Yeah.
And with the OC, he's bringing in a McVay guy, obviously. It tells me that he has an idea of what the offense needs to look like. He's not Robert Saleh, who just says, "Hey, Aaron Rodgers, do your thing, big dog." And he wants a guy that fits his offense the way he wants it to look. You know what I mean?
Well, and certainly if you look at the years that he was that assistant head coach, wide receivers coach, offensive passing coordinator, Matt Ryan was the quarterback. Of course, Kirk Cousins fits. Matt Ryan mold, essentially.
I mean, Kirk Cousins is in the same mold of Matt Ryan. A quarterback who I believe is good enough to win a Super Bowl if the team is right. The Josh Holsey type fans won't be a fan of him because you will have those bad games. But if you actually watch the game, he's the type of quarterback that if you understand football and you understand how like getting a quarterback is, you're happy with him. You may want better, but you're well aware that better doesn't really exist without going into the draft.
Without drafting the guy or somehow, some way, in some rare freak opportunity, a guy you don't see very many quarterbacks get unhappy and get traded.
No, they have
problem already.
They have neck injuries, and they end up in Denver.
Or they're Aaron Rodgers, and you get to the point at where you teeter between retiring, and you've already got a guy that's been sitting behind him for so many years. Same thing with Tom Brady to a degree, where you've kind of got these heir apparents, and you're kind of just like, well, we're kind of ready for you to. We don't want to get rid of you, but we're kind of waiting on you to want to get rid of yourself, remove yourself from the situation so that we can move forward, type thing. That's how those guys become available. They don't hop into free agency and have that opportunity. Kirk Cousins has been rarely one of the few people that's been able to actually do it. And that's all thanks to the Redskins because they franchise tagged him twice, which made it to where nobody could ever do that again. And every contract he signs here on out, the Vikings gave him a guaranteed contract too, to where now it was almost impossible for Kirk Cousins to never win in free agency. Like he's going to win every time.
Yeah.
He's always going to be in the market because if you franchise tag him a third time, I think it's 150 or 200% of whatever the stuff. Somebody will be paying him like $80 million for 1 year.
So I'm all about bringing in Kirk on a 2-year with an option. Heavy guarantees those first 2 years.
Well, you make it a 3-year with really that third year being void. 3 years, $90 million. You're going to give him $45 million a year.
And then you look in the second and third round and you draft the best available quarterback.
Spence?
You know what? I'm not mad at it. Spence
guy who 2 years ago everybody thought could be the number 1 pick.
Right. The skill set's there. Real quick side note, the Lakers did beat Washington in overtime. AD had 40. AD had 40 and 15. LeBron had 31, 9 and 4, and D'Lo had 22.
What did Jordan Poole finish with?
34.
Okay.
Off the bench.
How about Kuz?
20 on 16 shots. 10 boards, 4 for 8 from 3, 7 for 16. Just didn't get fouled. He had a pretty good game. Marvin Bagley led was second in scoring for the Wizards, and Corey Kispert had 20. Yeah, so
What about
Dinwiddie?
No,
Talking about
Diddy.
bitch. Denny Avdia?
Yeah.
He had 15 and 15 boards.
That's a low game for him point wise.
Well, since we're here, Dinwiddie had 10 points in 26 minutes on 5 shots.
Wow. That might be his highest scoring game as a Laker.
Wow. You can definitely tell Zoe is still in Ireland because Boink is up.
Why? He's viewing things.
Yeah. I sent Boink and Eric Boyd the post you sent me, and Boink has seen.
Which one?
Both.
Okay.
I like to make sure my fellow married friends get the good Instagram filth.
Yeah.
Glad Zoe doesn't listen to this, and neither does Sin.
Yeah.
Hopefully Sarah's mom doesn't tell on her. That's super awkward if she listens to this because there's really nothing to tell on. So neither of us are sold on Justin Fields as our quarterback, is what you're telling me.
I'm not opposed to it. I want to know what the price is. Is it? I'm gonna assume it's a 2.
I'm hearing a day 2 pick and a day 3 pick. But if that's what if that's what we're hearing, I imagine that's the Bears trying to run the price up.
Yeah, because there's not too many teams realistically that could get them. I mean, the Steelers, I guess, and then even though they've kind of shut the door on it based on what they said, I don't think the Patriots are going to do it. The Raiders would be about the only other team to me that I could see making that move. But maybe if Seattle wants to have Geno as a backup, Seattle will be intriguing. That'd be a pretty interesting.
Did you see? I saw something today. I think it was on JPA. But they said that the Seattle has told Geno that he will be back on the roster with his contract. So
yeah, but that's I think it was only like 12 million, 13 million because his was front loaded too. So he's at a reasonable price to where they could move him if they really wanted to. Yeah, they told him he was going to be there, but Daryl Morey told Chris Paul that he wasn't going to send him to OKC, and he fucking sent him to OKC. So these guys, they can do what they want. I mean, at the end of the day, if the right offer comes through, if the Pittsburgh Steelers say, "Hey, we'll give you a third for Geno," I bet the Seahawks probably take it.
Geno's a $26 million cap hit.
Yeah, but what's the base salary? Is it it's like 13, right? 12?
Base is 12.7 with an 8.7 signing bonus.
Okay.
$200,000 for the workout, 4.8 restructure, and 39.7 dead cap. So they're going to stick with Geno this year because next year he'll be at 13.5 dead cap.
They could be a shocking team that trades up to get a guy, or like I could see them going up to like 11 or 12, and then they be the ones that take JJ McCarthy.
I didn't know this about JJ McCarthy because I had been kind of beating a drum for JJ McCarthy. He's like 6'4", 205 pounds.
Yeah,
niggas built like a shooting guard.
Yeah.
Too skinny.
Well, what's Jaden Daniels? He's 6'4", 210, 215.
Yeah, but he's better.
He is better. And he'll probably add on about 10 pounds muscle. I mean, CJ's the biggest dude in the world.
Yeah, but if you're 6'3",
Patrick Mahomes, those dudes aren't huge. They're not that far.
Mahomes is in the 220s though. He's got a gut.
He's a dad.
He has a hot wife.
Pat's an underrated athlete.
He has
He
a
has a
hot
Sports
wife.
Illustrated wife.
You think she's hot?
He has a Sports Illustrated. I think that she's in Sports Illustrated.
You think that was hot? Yes or no?
I'm not attracted to his wife, but good for him. You know.
You know, I love how respectful you are on this broadcast, man.
Yeah.
You didn't want to say she has big gums and small teeth and she's ugly. I didn't say that. I just said you didn't want to say that.
I heard it though.
I heard. Oh, that's Josh Holsey's, ain't it? Little Rich Homie?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can play any Rich Homie. Josh knows Rich Homie as well as he knows a box score. Yeah.
Where's my pen? Where the fuck is my pen? I'm writing that down. He's gonna hate that one. Oh shit. Let's see what else we got in football. I've been listening to some Merrill Hodge content.
Alexander Mattison got released.
Yeah, he'll be an Eagle. They're like,
you know what's funny? I took Alexander Mattison like in the 5th round of fantasy this year.
Yeah, you took him higher than you should have.
Well, it cleared the way for him to be RB1. Nobody knew who the backup running back was. They just had got rid of Cook. He did pretty well when Cook was out. I thought he was going to do something. He didn't do anything, though. So, you know, lesson learned.
Yeah, I didn't judge the pick when you made it because I understood the logic behind it. But yeah, we got Merrill Hodge pretty much shitting on Caleb Williams and Drake May. Does that mean anything to you?
No, because Merrill Hodge has been out of the sports media light for a while now.
Does that mean he doesn't know what he's talking about?
When I heard him say that Drake May wasn't athletic, I called bullshit. I'm gonna leave because I can't hear anything. Type in the private chat. Did you hear that? Here, type in the chat.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now I can hear you.
All right, so something happened with my setup over here. I don't know what happened. My audio's not going to come in great because I'm talking to the computer. I don't have headphones.
I can hear you though perfectly fine, honestly.
It's just going to be a bad audio product when we put it out, but it's okay. What the hell were we talking about? Oh, we're talking about Merrill Hodge, Drake May. You said when he said he wasn't an athlete that did something to you.
Yeah, because I got to watch Drake May a few times this year, and I'm like, nah, he's definitely athletic. I don't know where he got that take from.
Well, yeah, because he got compared to Josh Allen.
He's athletic. Put it this way, that white boy can fucking move. So that's why I'm like, okay. Like, I tell you what, it'll be interesting to see what Drake May runs. I wouldn't surprise me at all if Drake May ran a 4.6.
You know what really what I enjoyed about some of the quarterback talks was Drake May's inconsistency being a problem. I agree. And Caleb Williams not being consistent in the pocket, which is what I've been saying for months now. Just watching him, I go, he doesn't throw the ball on schedule.
But everything about him, it seems like improv.
Yeah.
You know? It all seems improv. But I think that's what kind of makes him so great, because if he goes to a team, which typically the team with the number one pick, you're probably going to have some offensive line issues, kind of, that he's going to be able to make plays like without having a good O-line, let alone once he does have a good offensive line. You know.
So you like the improv skills working for Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I think it works in his favor. I mean, because he can make those throws. So it's like it's apparent. If you've seen him like throw on the run, just cross body shit that he's done.
No. Stop. His accuracy is amazing. Like, his skill set is great. It's just like, when I talked about the Chiefs not winning a Super Bowl the last 2 years, mainly not this past season but the year before, I was like, will Patrick Mahomes fake the cheese? Will he just 1, 2, 3 get it out? 1, 2, 3 get it out? That's what I worry about with Caleb Williams. And if he does that, and I say, hey, let's pump the brakes on him, and I'm wrong because he actually learns to do that, I'm okay.
I worry about the fact that Matt Eberflus is his coach. I know that they got Shane Waldron, but I worry about the fact that Matt Eberflus is his coach. That to me is going to be the telltale for most of these quarterbacks. Who's their coach? Like, who's running their all? Like what is it that they're having to work with? And I think the Bears are set up to have success. They had a lot of momentum towards the end of last year, especially after they got Montez Sweat. So I think it's a good, decent situation that he's headed in. That's a tough division right now because, a lot of people think the Packers are going to have such high expectations going into next year. Of course, the Lions are as good as they've ever been. And Minnesota is a team that, it looks like Kirk Cousins is going to leave, but they could easily keep Kirk Cousins, and that is still a team that could win 10 games, like with Kirk Cousins, 11 games. You know what I mean? Like, they wouldn't. So it's a tough division that he's going to have to face. And then I know he played at, Oklahoma and SoCal, and I know he's from Maryland, but or DC rather. Let me not confuse that. Wouldn't want to do that.
God forbid.
Yeah, he's from DC, not Maryland. But you have to deal with playing cold weather, stuff like that. It's going to really come down to who these guys have as coaches. And they broke it down pretty well. When you look at the draft where Trubisky, Mahomes, and Watson went, Mahomes was set up to succeed because of who he had as a coach. It's not that he didn't – obviously Mahomes has it in him, but he got put in such a good situation. Trubisky wasn't going to be – there was only but so much success that Trubisky would have because he just isn't talented enough. But his situation was less than ideal too overall.
Yeah.
I know Nagy was the coach or whatever, but
Nagy as
it was just a lesson.
Nagy as the head coach versus Nagy as the OC with Andy Reid, that's two totally different situations.
Right.
And I imagine when Nagy got Patrick Mahomes, he's sitting there like, I could have drafted this guy. I'd still be head coach.
Yeah, you'd still be a head coach. You might have a ring, even in Chicago.
Hey,
think about it. Mitchell Trubisky went 12-4.
Mitchell Trubisky went 12-4. He got the MVP.
Yeah. They were 8-8 that one year. Yeah, when they played the Saints, and almost came close to winning that game. I remember Jimmy Graham caught a touchdown at the end of the game that either made it a 3-point game or something. I don't remember, but I remember because it fucked up so many people's bets.
Let's see. Caleb Williams, he's attending the combine. He's not doing medical with teams and chose not to sign off having his medical records shared with all 32 teams. One league source believes Williams is the first combine invitee to attend the event after declining the medical exams, which are typically considered to be one of the most essential elements of the combine. Caleb Williams is dropping his dick. I mean, to put on top of it, he doesn't have an agent. And reports say that he made $10 million in NIL. This guy is what all the baddies want to be. I know my worth.
More importantly, if you don't want me, I already know there's somebody waiting on me.
Yeah, and I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad at what Caleb Williams is doing because he has the leverage. It's well, shit. I got to go play for a team that I may not want to play for. Well, I'm gonna go about it my way. And as much as I want to knock it, because I think entry-level talent shouldn't have that much leverage. But when you have that leverage, you should utilize your leverage.
Well, and it makes a ton of sense because, like I said, you look at it this way: he could go play for the home team. They're right there too. He probably grew up a Redskins fan. I have to imagine, maybe. Certainly, it'll be easy for his family to come see him play on a daily basis. Easier. I mean, it'll be easy anyways because he's rich. But that still is one less expense you have to worry about. I mean, I'm sure maybe the Bears. I don't know. The Bears strike me as a cheap organization, but
I think they're cash poor.
Yeah, well, because think about it, and Mike Florio actually said this. He put it together really well. He said, if you look at the NFL, he said a lot of these teams and their owners, they're really giant mom and pop shops. The Chicago Bears is a mom and pop shop in reality. because they've been owned by the same family since they got started. And they're running it as such, even though they're a brand. The Chicago Bears is a brand. It's synonymous with, I think of Chris Farley in an SNL skit that he did, the Bears, the Bears, the Bears, the Bears, the Bears. Mike Ditka. Just it's so much shit about Chicago, the Chicago Bears. And obviously a lot of it goes back to the 85 Bears, or just, Mike Ditka when he was a fucking tight end, like George Hallis, all this stuff. But they're mom and pop shops. So it feels like they treat it as such. And because they already get their share of money, they just seem like they're similar to the Bengals, because that's Paul Allen, right?
Yep.
Not Paul Allen. Paul Allen owned the Seahawks.
But golly, yeah, you're right. Fucking
Allen. Yeah, but I know his name is Allen too. I thought it was Paul. Or maybe it's Paul God damn it.
Mike Brown.
Yes.
Paul Brown is you think about Paul Brown.
Yes.
Mike Brown, Paul Brown's son.
Yes. But these are all the same teams that have been owned. When you look at the teams that are owned by the same people, like from the get-go, they're cheap.
I mean, I'm looking at this. Mike Brown owned the Browns from 46, coached the Browns from 46 to 62, coached the Bengals from 68 to 75. He was the general manager and part owner of the Browns from 46 to 62, and then he became the owner of the Bengals in 68 until 90. So yeah, they got multi-million-dollar. These guys have multi-million-dollar
Billion.
like mom and pop shops.
$1 billion.
Yeah, no, I said billion. Yeah, with a B.
Yeah.
Billion, not million. Billion.
Yeah. So it just sets up, well, if he wants to go home, he could force his way there without actually telling them, hey, I want to play there.
Well,
I don't think I think that they're set in stone. I think that they've decided, like, they're drafting him no matter what, because they don't want to be in the same scenario that they were when they drafted Mitch Trubisky.
you don't get fired for drafting Caleb Williams and him not being good. But you get fired for not drafting Caleb Williams and you're not good.
For sticking with Justin Fields, if you get much more of what it is that he's been. I mean, even when you look at last year, they won 7 games, but I think only like 3 of them were with Justin Fields, because Tyson Baguette went like 4-1. So,
or even if you move back to 2 or 3.
Yeah, well, right.
And like you still draft a guy, if the guy that you didn't draft looks good, you're fired. Even if if you move back to 3 and Drake May ends up showing out in Washington, you're fired.
Yeah. But if you're the Bears, they wouldn't do this. The Bears are in such a good position because they have an ass ton of cap. They've got some really quality young players. Why not trade back if you could trade back with like New England at 3? Why not let them take the quarterbacks? You're sitting at 3. You say to yourself, because I think you sent it in a group. You sent it with me and Justice, I think, in a text. And it said, what's the best deal? I said, the New England one by far, because I said, you're moving back 2 spots. You could take another quarterback if you want, or trade back again and at 3 with somebody else. You're going to get 2 ones. The Patriots aren't going to be good next year. You're picking up more draft capital. You've got all the cap in the world. You could stay on Justin Fields. You could trade Justin Fields still. You've got enough money to where if you want it, you could sign Russell Wilson. You could sign Kirk Cousins. Like, they've got so many different ways that they could go. Now, look, that's just me being a Madden franchise owner, because that's what I would do in that scenario. If I could trade back from 1 to 3, get a haul of a 1 from New England and a 2 in that year's draft, maybe even get a player or something out of the deal, sign me up. And then you're in that position of, okay, do we like the quarterback here? Do we like Fields? Are we going to move on from Fields? Do we think that we want to sign some? Or I guess they would have to sign the quarterback first going into the draft, which would lose their leverage. But then they could be making those trades like now. You know what I mean? Like right now is when you're making the deal, because then everybody will be like, man, what the fuck are they doing? And then, or you sit at 3. Let's say you make the trade tomorrow with the Patriots. You move to 3. If the Patriots are inclined to get one, then that's the type of deal you get. They're 1 next year and they're 2 this year, or 2, however that works. You get that deal done. You're still sitting at 3. You still have Justin Fields. Maybe you move on from Justin Fields immediately. Like you trade him too. So then everybody's like, oh, what are they going to do? Question or Cousins, 9 curtains. And then you still have the number 3 pick. You could draft Marvin Harrison. You could trade back down, maybe get Neighbors instead. Like if the Giants want to move up to 3 because they want Jaden Daniels.
Or
so many they could have though.
Yeah, no, there's so much that they can do, but I think because Eberflus knows it's win or you're gone, he's not taking risks. And I think that's the biggest problem. But I think that's the biggest problem in the NFL is that teams don't make decisions that could be the best decisions because the guys sitting in the seat don't want to take the risk because they might lose their job. And I get it. Protect your desk, right? But if you're thinking about winning for the franchise, your first move can't be to protect your desk. But I think that's what's going to happen. And that's why I think Caleb Williams goes first overall to the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, they're not going to do it, but I'm just in a theoretical Madden franchise mode. I know it's a video game, but
don't you wish Washington had the first pick because you know everybody there has job security?
Wait, say that again.
Don't you wish Washington had the first pick because you know everybody there has job security?
Yes. Plus, I want to look. You know, it didn't end so well with DQ, but honestly, man, I want to see DQ do well.
Same. I'm a DQ fan. I think he's a good coach.
I want to see DQ, and I think he will be a better coach. I don't know if he's going to reach the Super Bowl again, but I think he will be a better coach. Like the mistakes that he made here, I think are going to be cleaned up. Like he's not going to make those dumbass fucking in-game decisions. He's going to be able to hold on to leads. Like I don't see that being his issue anymore.
Same. I got a question for you.
I have an answer for you.
Do you think Russell Wilson wins 2 Super Bowls in the next 5 years?
No.
What if he comes to the Falcons?
I would love for that to be the case. If he were our quarterback, yeah, I'd love to win 2 in the next 5 years. But realistically, I tell you what, if he plays as well as he did this past year, because he really wasn't that bad. If he plays as well as he did this past year, or maybe even has a renaissance and jumps back into who he was 3 years ago with the Falcons, and Kyle Pitts realizes his true potential, Drake London's a Pro Bowl wide receiver, Bijan's an all-pro running back, who knows?
How much do you hear about? McCole Hartman called out the Jets culture, pretty much said, like, y'all niggas don't know shit about winning. Y'all also aren't using me right. Let me call you guys out. And then the Jets came back and defended their culture to the guy who caught the game-winning pass in the Super Bowl. I think McCole knew what the fuck he was talking about.
You know, but there was also that rumor that he was giving out game plans.
Do you think that mattered?
No, because when they said the game specifically that he gave them out for.
Oh, man, Shaq just walked off set.
Under what context, though?
They're talking about Superman. They showed They're talking about
Superman.
Superman.
That a real Superman or something?
They should. I don't know what they said, but yeah, probably. Because Chuck is laughing.
Dwight should have made the All NBA 75 team, but
White should still be in the league.
so crazy. But nonetheless, the two games that they said that they did it for was the Eagles game, which the Jets won, probably their best win of the year. And then 2 was the Chiefs game that they lost on Sunday Night Football. I was in London. I'll never forget because I was watching it at like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. at a fucking casino. Met some interesting people.
I bet you did.
Yeah, I made some money that night because I made some bets on that game. I made some money. But like that was also Zach Wilson's best game of the year.
Yeah.
That was the best game he played all year.
Yeah.
And they were in it. I mean, they only lost by like 3. So, you know.
Yeah, maybe he leaked it. Maybe he didn't. I just think it's a bunch of losers trying to defend themselves and protect their desk. Let's see. Eric Bieniemy is the OC at fucking UCLA. Do we care about that?
He's cooked.
Dick Sherm got a DUI. Do we really care about that?
It lost its sizzle because we've had so much more that's happened this week. I mean, look, Dick got hammered.
NFL's talking about getting rid of the chain gang.
Interesting. It falls in line with the way that our world, the direction that the world's moving in, taking more jobs away from humans.
The NFL tested optical tracking in 2 stadiums and in the Super Bowl last season for line of game rulings. It will require a vote for approval, and the technology won't be ready for next year, but it's only a matter of time. I don't want to. I like the chain gang. Kind of like Jerry Jones has talked about. I like what the human element brings to the game of football because there's mistakes. I don't want the game to be perfect.
Yeah, it's similar to baseball when they wanted to talk about having robot umpires for the strike zone. That's kind of a part of the game, right? Like it needs to be a human that's looking at it. These guys are never going to be perfect, but they do for the most part, they do a damn good job, right?
Yeah, and they make human mistakes, and it gets outraged. And I think that the NFL, I think the league should want outrage. I think the league should want bad calls.
Some pandemonium, right?
Yeah, because it's great for Spurs take. It's great for Undisputed. It's great for Greeny. It's great for Cowherd. Like I think these are the things that
it's great for NFL commercials 20 years from now. I have to imagine that 20 years from now, we're going to get a commercial, or maybe even 10 or 15 years like from now, we'll end up getting a commercial of Drew Brees throwing a pass and then somebody hitting somebody before the pass gets there or something. Like it'll be something to where they incorporate that and then he just shakes his head. Like, so it's good to have these things as memories, these bad things that happen.
Yeah.
Like I love the fact that the Saints didn't get that because they probably would have went to the Super Bowl and they might have fucking won. So think about it, we would have got a Brady Brees Super Bowl in Atlanta. That is the last thing that I would have wanted here. A year after we go to the Super Bowl, no, I wasn't a year after, but 2 years after we go to the Super Bowl and lose to the Patriots, Tom Brady and the fucking New Orleans Saints are playing in Atlanta for the Super Bowl. What type of bullshit would that have been? Everybody would have loved it, but people from Atlanta.
Yeah.
So it's good that happened. Instead, we had Jared Goff in the Super Bowl. I love it.
David Tapper is running up ticket prices. Mad Dog Russo was not a fan.
They said like 4 or 5%, right?
Yeah, some shit like that. He's got some fucking nerve. David Tapper, you know what? We need to go ahead and get the scandal going, get him out of there. David Tapper doesn't need a team.
How could Dan Snyder get replaced so quickly?
It's the NFL, baby. There's only so many rich white billionaires.
there's a lot of there's enough billionaire. Like, didn't they say that? And I know that now will be kind of wouldn't be in the best interest of the league, but what are they saying that what's his face was interested in buying the Commanders? Amazon's Lord and Master.
Jeff Bezos, yeah.
Yeah, wasn't he interested?
Yeah, he's rich enough. Just send him down to Carolina.
Well, but I knew that they had said that, it'd be a conflict of interest for the league, obviously, because Amazon's on TV. It's now as a partner with the NFL. And then, of course, he owns, like, the Washington Post. So, I don't know. He could be putting out any type of story he really wants in reality. There'd be no journalist, or he could leak things. Like, I don't know. A lot of stuff.
Well, who cares about journalistic integrity? We care about juicy stories.
Yeah. Well, and he'd be putting them out, any and everything that he knew.
I mean, the NBA media world got mad at JJ Redick for saying y'all niggas care more about hot takes than actually basketball analysis. And they were like, well, yes, why else would you be on TV? If you don't like it, get off TV. It's like, no, I'm on TV to try to educate you all, you fucking idiots. You ready to close the hour 2, get to the culture? Because I'm getting sleepy.
I gotta change this. We got the next game back on now. Shit.
All right, guys, that's hour 2. It wasn't a full hour. Bite me. Hey, it's hour 3. I should probably take this Falcons first fucking thing off because we haven't talked about the Falcons in 30 minutes. I got a thumb for you for culture, man. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see.
Well, give us the audio that we need.
Let me see if I can find it. I know where to look. What's his name?
By the way, while you're killing a little, I'll kill a little air. We didn't even.
Huh?
We didn't even speak on it, but Peter King retired.
Yeah,
Peter King retired.
Yeah, legend gone. Gonna miss him.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Peter King's always been a big part of the NFL. Feels like as a journalist.
Hopefully, Peter King doesn't just disappear into nowhere, and he gives us stuff that we want and need. Because I'm a huge Peter King fan.
I could see him turning into like how Lombardi kind of is.
Mm-hmm.
Occasionally gives his 2 cents on stuff. And you have to think, yeah, maybe he's not covering the game anymore, but he's still going to have those connections. And whenever he sees something, just ask a question about something and be like, really?
Okay, I got one for you in culture. Here we go. Oh shit. My shit's not. Let me see if this shit's gonna work.
Okay.
Because without my microphone, I can't play videos.
Oh no.
That's not good. Let's see.
Yeah, here, try it. Reboot it. Run it. Try it.
Let's see.
Call.
All right, so it's not gonna work.
The thing is, are you not hearing on the other end? Are you hearing what it's doing?
I didn't even have the headphones in. I just heard a weird sound when you stopped hearing me, so I'm like, oh, shit's not working. Neil deGrasse Tyson, he debunked Mercury and retro. What's up?
No, what it's doing is it's doing the it's almost like it sounds like it caught me saying something and it's like repeating it. Like if I was about to say the word called or something like that, it was like call. Like that's what it keeps doing.
You know what? Let me hop out for a second and just you
I gotta say you can hop out Or because we got it, you can really restart it for this last part too.
Yeah,
Maybe that'll help. I don't.
just make noise.
Ah. Oh man. Yeah. Well, it's hour 3, and we are having some technical difficulties, but we are making sure that we get them addressed. You know. Meek Mill is going to be the subject of this third part. He's going to be a big part of this, actually, the more and more I think about it. Lot of scandalous stuff going on with him. And the funny thing is that it's turned from Diddy to him specifically. Nobody's questioning Usher, even though Usher was named too as someone that Diddy had sex with. And I think what it is because there's many people that I think already thought Usher maybe was gay, but even if he's not, he's also just not speaking on it. But Meek Mill's like directly addressing the shit. And I feel like that's a big part of it. You're go back. No, unmute it. Unmute. You're on mute.
Can you hear?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you perfect.
All right, baby, we're back.
There we go.
Just had to restart this whole thing. Let's see. Where we at? Oh, yeah, I got something for you for culture. Let me find it.
I was giving everybody a sneak preview of what we were really about to get.
All right. I got one for you that I didn't tell you about. Listen to this one.
Okay.
Whether you believe in it, it would be.
Depending on where the planets are, can that affect us physically? Like the Mercury in retrograde, is that a real thing for you? Do you believe in that?
The good thing about science is when it's true, it's not a matter of whether you believe in it. It would be true for everyone at all times. When it really mattered to people what the planets were doing in the sky, in that day, we're talking 2,000 years ago, Earth was believed to be in the center of all motion. We would later learn and confirm that the sun is in the center of that motion and not Earth.
Yes.
So what we see is Mercury going around the sun right in front of our eyes. But Mercury is always going forward. If you went to a car race and you're watching the car go around the track and it comes from left to right in front of you and then it goes right to left on the other side of the track,
Right.
You don't invent a word for that. You don't say, oh, that car is now in retrograde. No, because the car is always moving forward.
So you're saying there's no truth to that. This is just made up astrology.
Complete bullshit.
Yeah.
It is left over from a time when people's egos were so large that they actually believed that a planet in the sky gave a rat's ass about anything in your life.
I just want to say that question was from Wiz Khalifa. That was not from me.
Why the hell is Amber Rose interviewing Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Favor. But then again, I think a guy like Neil, he probably doesn't have that big. I mean, I don't know how busy his schedule is, but like, how often does he do interviews?
I don't know. I just know that when he does them, he shouldn't include Amber Rose. Or maybe he should because of the dummies who listen to her and care what she has to say instead of caring about what she used to do on that pole in Philly before she met Kanye. It's important.
That's certainly why we know her. You know, he made a stripper famous, and she's made a career out of it, though. That's the crazy part.
No, shout out to her for making the career, but dog, for one, shout out to Neil deGrasse Tyson for dispelling his Mercury and retrograde shit, saying it doesn't exist. It's fake. It's all in your heads. But the fact that, yo, black culture is in such a fucking terrible place right now.
It's in shambles.
Like, this is what Amber Rose is asking an astrophysicist, one of the most smart minds in our world, about some fucking Mercury retrograde and blaming it on Wiz. And hey, Wiz Khalifa, if this is what you believe, nigga, believe better. Have better beliefs. Like, I don't know, man.
Well, we have to ask ourselves: Did Wiz really ask the question, or did she just want to deflect it to the baby daddy?
I have an idea of what she was doing, and I'm gonna assume that this was not Wiz's question. But what do I know? I don't know either of these people.
Right.
But who cares? Whatever. Fuck them. Got another clip for you.
Yeah, because fuck them. That's why. Dave Chappelle.
It's about being pretty that give you massive advantages in life. Mm-hmm. There is also simultaneously a very dark side to being considered beautiful.
Yeah.
The experience of walking in a room and immediately no one taking you seriously because they see your appearance and they're like, oh, this is the looker. Like this one's here for aesthetics. Like we don't have to worry about what she has to say or what she thinks or her input. Or she probably doesn't have any experience in the space because clearly they only hired her because of tits or whatever. Like that's one thing.
Yeah.
Which people may not think is that bad. How about everyone trying to fuck you all the time?
Yeah.
So you can't get any business done because everyone assumes that the reason that you're talking to them is because you have finally made it. You've finally been chosen by me.
Yeah.
When in fact, like, I just need you to collaborate on this project with me. I actually don't want to sleep with you at all.
Yeah.
And then if you don't want to sleep with them, then they're mad at you because they got it in their head that the reason that they're talking to them
Totally.
is because you're a beautiful woman and this is what you're here for, is to
for sure
receive dick. So there are a lot of things, and it's a very complicated experience. I'd say that with the knowledge that there are a lot of things that come with being pretty. And there will be people that watch us and say, you're not that pretty, bitch. Mm-hmm. Which is fine. I am. But it's fine. Like I don't have to be beautiful to everyone. Like there's enough of a contingent that I know that it's okay. I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah.
But there is definitely a yin and a yang to the experience. There are things about.
Let me tell you something, Parlay Pete. I don't want to hear people who are highly compensated and doing really well in their fields complaining about the yin and the yang. Like, she specifically talked about the yin and the yang. And guess what, Joy? You're attractive to a lot of people. So when they see you, they're not thinking about business. They're thinking about fucking. I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's okay. That's the reality of the world we live in.
I call it just being natural.
I don't disagree.
What is the first thing you notice about someone when you see them?
Are they
how
attractive?
They look?
Yeah.
Yeah, how they look. Like,
and if I think you look,
man, I bet money that her
business pitch is A1.
like she's fucking solid. She's a rock solid. I have to get to know you to know that. Like,
and I don't like this, especially coming from Joy Taylor, right?
Yeah, somebody whose fucking brother, I don't know, played in the NFL and is like a legend to a degree.
Right. No, like your brother's a Hall of Famer, so that gave you a certain level of access that other people don't have. So that helped you in your career. Not saying that you're not good, because I think Joy Taylor is good. But like, no, your brother helped you. But then also I look at you I look at your nose. Definitely got a nose job. Look at your face. See a little Botox up in there. I look at your body. Yeah, I look at your body and I go, well, you had gained a little bit of weight back a while ago, and it looks like that weight disappeared, and it didn't disappear in a way that most people would lose weight naturally. Maybe you did. But you've done things to make sure that your appearance is top tier. You feel like your appearance is top tier. And you acknowledge having a top tier appearance helps you. Shut up and dribble. Like, dog, don't say, hey, I had these things that helped me, but these things hurt me along the way. Yeah. Pretty privilege is a thing. Yeah. Being gawked over is a problem. Men shouldn't be fucking creeps. I'm here with you. I support that. But if men being creeps helps you do your job, helps you be better at your job, and you sign up for that and you accept that, if you accept the perks, you better accept the fucking downside of it. Like, I'm like, dog, I'm sorry, man. I don't want to hear two pretty women who are also very good at their jobs, top-notch professionals. Like, if this was Malika Andrews, it would be a different conversation. But Joy Taylor and Taylor Rooks are good at their job. Taylor Rooks also has a dad who was a professional athlete. Just throwing that out there. But you bust your ass. You got to where you are. Don't complain about being fine, because guess what? There are men. Oh, God, here I go mansplaining. There are men who do the same things that you do. I live in a small town, and in my age bracket, I'm one of the higher earners. You know how much it sucks to go into a fucking place and know that the women are looking at you crazy, and because your wife's not black, they don't even respect your wife, and they're just shooting their fucking shot at you, and you're just sitting there like, yo, shorty, I want nothing to do with you. And if I did want something to do with you, the way you're acting would never get us to that place. Like, you're fucking disrespecting my wife.
Yeah.
Like that's unacceptable. Nobody can disrespect my wife. If I'm disrespectful with my wife, that's between me and her. But bitch, nah, you can't. Yeah, nah, that's a fucking reality. Like, the athletes that they cover who are treated like fucking meatheads, and some of these people are like super smart, super introspective, great views on life. They just happen to be good at a fucking sport, but their opinion's not respected. And you have people saying like, oh, shut up and dribble. Yeah. I just told you to shut up and dribble. But yeah, people who say that, not giving them any respect at all for what they know, what they've learned, what they've experienced. And you over here complaining about the problems of you being great? Fuck out of here. Hey, put on an ugly face and be a non-athlete woman with no ties to a fucking sport and try to fucking make it. See how that works for you. I'm not saying what you're going through isn't a problem, but white collar problems ain't blue collar problems. Rich problems ain't poor problems. You ain't meat getting allegedly spread out like a fucking charcuterie board and getting ran through after a fucking wine night with the girls. Allegedly.
You mean she's not getting spread out and cut right down the middle like a
Oh, maybe she is, and maybe that's the problem.
Like a gator in the bayou.
You know what? And I say maybe she is, and maybe that's the problem. And if that's happening, I don't agree with that. I don't think that's acceptable. I think you should be treated as a professional. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, you walk in a room with a nice with a nice rack of fucking tits and a nice face. People are gonna acknowledge them nice tits and that nice face.
You don't get a lot of it.
They're gonna acknowledge that before they acknowledge the nice brain. Don't talk to me and smile. Because guess what? For the majority of the man's life, when a woman talks nice to him and smiles, he fucks. He
Like
fucks.
he certainly might get the impression that he thinks he can, and
Right.
and that doesn't mean that you got to be mean and nasty to men for them to not think it. But
No.
because hell, we've seen in situations like that where the mean and nasty actually they're the ones that end up getting fucked too.
Yes.
But more actually really the way it. I mean, we've seen it with Hey Arnold. Helga Pataki probably got. If Arnold wanted to, Arnold could have rammed Helga's ass all the way down Gerald's block, nigga. Like he could have. I mean, he could have been having his way, and nobody could have stopped. Nigga, Big Bob's beepers weren't going to be able to make the calls to get that shit. So, but I'm just saying. But this is like that's the age old additive, anyways. Of the girl that's mean to you, oh, she just likes you, like you know what I mean, or but vice versa.
Yeah.
If a boy's picking on somebody, like they like you. Hey, on Facebook, you used to could poke people. I don't know if that's still a thing, but typically it meant, oh, they want the D. Like, you know what I mean? Like what does that mean? You poke me? What the fuck? Like, but no, I think that when it comes to what it is that they're doing, that was the pilot, right? For it.
I don't know.
I just saw that clip because you put it in, but and now obviously we just listened to it again. But like, we'll see what they end up doing. They're adding more to a market that already's got plenty, and it's kind of like you're complaining about, like you said, kind of like these first world type problems, and it's like, look, I'm getting tired of people looking at me because I'm just attractive, and they just think I'm just a big set of tits walking in the room, and then they like zoom in on like Taylor Rook's rack, and then she's like, yeah, and it's just like, well, look, guys, hey, at least you got them to use to your advantage. Nobody's gonna look at anything. They're gonna look at me. They're gonna be like, hey, man, you got this elevator amount of time to pitch yourself, essentially. Yeah. And before I could even get out any fucking words, the door is already shut on me. And I may not get that opportunity again to have that chance to do an elevator type pitch to somebody. Like, and I might do my shit, and I might be good enough to do the job too. I might have the voice. I might have everything to do this job. But like,
think about this
parlay. I don't have a big set of jugs either, and I don't want to have a big set of jugs. I'm perfectly fine with my penis. Okay, like,
Think about this parlay, Pete. Joy Taylor was engaged to Earl Watson.
Really? Like former NBA player Earl Watson? Okay.
Earl Watson.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that they were engaged.
Earl Watson was working for Fox. Do you think the relationship started before Fox, or was she like Fannie Willis and the relationship built?
Oh, she's Fannie all the way.
I don't think she's Fannie, because I think Fannie built her relationship before, she gave out the coin. I think Joy.
Okay. You're
Joy.
Saying
Joy met.
They met on at Fox.
Yeah, Joy. They met at Fox, and she liked what he was.
Who did Earl ask?
Say again.
Oh. Let me see. Hold on.
And my thing is, don't complain about your pretty privilege when you don't like.
Earl never played in Miami.
Nah. He was, after he left the Suns, he went to Fox, and then they started dating. Then they got engaged. So my thing is,
he was the head coach of the Suns.
If you got a workplace boyfriend, workplace fiance, I don't want to hear you complain about your pretty privilege, because your pretty privilege probably got you that. Now, maybe y'all did meet out in LA on the scene, and he just happened to work for your network. Maybe.
Well, and that's why I thought it was more of a Fannie Willis thing than where they were in the same room anyways.
And that may be the truth. But for me, dog, come on, man. Come on, man. Like what the fuck are we doing here? Like, it's the girl who says, "Oh, it's flirting if I like it. It's flirting if I like it. It's sexual harassment if I don't." Well, understand, if you open yourself up for that, you're going to get unwanted advances. Now, unwanted advance should stop once you say, "Hey, nah, I ain't rocking." But you don't get the advance if you don't know. Like, you don't know if a person wants you until they tell you.
Like getting those good cracks in, right?
Yeah. You just keep doing it. I'm like, fuck it. Let me just crack mine real quick.
Yeah.
Last big. Well, no, there's two more things in culture.
Well, we got it. You know we got, and you got to play the clip too. That just he can't come back from it. We'll get to him last though.
Cam Newton was involved in a fight that he won. He didn't really fight. He just said, "Get these niggas off me."
Yeah.
And he didn't need no security to help him. They helped him. And the reason why I want to bring it up here because people talked about would this happen at an Eli camp or somewhere where Peyton was or Brady? And I go no, but I think that the yin and the yang of Cam is Cam puts himself around people who need help and support. When you put yourself around people who need help and support, and you make yourself that accessible, you open yourself up to their lifestyle. And I think that's all that was. Some Atlanta shit, if we being honest.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking too. I'm like, oh, okay, it's just some nigga shit. It's okay. Like not it ain't nigga shit, but like it is nigga shit. Like just in a sense of, oh, okay, it was just some niggas, being niggas, I guess. Like, now that I don't think that makes it acceptable, like because it isn't. But
it's not. Like respect that man. Hey, I got something.
Respect that man, and even if your parents didn't teach you or they're not in your life or whatever, and you're just there with Coach Bo or whatever, like, nigga, what is? I'll never understand why people think it's okay to just put their hands on people.
I don't either, but maybe we can get a little better explanation here. Here we go.
If you're dealing with somebody for a long period of time, it don't matter if I left or you left, you're still gonna. Hold on. If you're dealing with somebody for a long period of time, it don't matter if I left or you left, you're still gonna. You can have a celly.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, you got a celly for 3 months.
That nigga cried when the celly left.
Pack it up, go to new jail. You're gonna feel like you just lost a chick. You know how it is. It's just you're gonna be hurt about it.
How many times you felt like that?
No. You ain't never lose your celly and feel like you lost.
No. I lost some cellies that was some good. They went home, motherfuckers. I didn't see during my whole time. I done seen hundreds of cellies go home.
Yeah,
and you'd be like, "Damn,
how many times you cried?"
Fuck, I ain't never cried, man. The fuck is you talking about?
If you dealing with somebody for a long period,
I like how they didn't like pause that nigga and like they kind of just like moved around it. That's how you know they've been doing it a long time because somebody would have stopped. Like, but even Charlemagne, just to be a messy type of dude, would have been like, "What do you mean by that?" type shit. But he didn't even like kind of address what he said and more so told his perspective of what it is that he was talking about. But there was no coming back from that comment because what do you mean it felt like you lost a chick? Nigga, what do you miss when you lose a chick? What do you miss most about the chick? Being up under them, fucking them. Yeah, yeah. Well, okay, but even if it ain't the sex, it's about intimate moments, like cuddling on them, like fuck. Maybe they were making you food. I don't know. Like maybe it's just something like that. If you feel like you lost a chick and a man in jail, that tells me everything I need to know.
I think I know what Meek was trying to say, and as a rapper,
I don't.
I give him like no. You got to articulate it better. Like I've had fallouts with close friends, and that shit hurt. You know what I mean? Because you're so close to these people.
Not feel like you lost a chick, bro. Don't compare it to losing a chick.
No,
you can care more about the friend than the chick. But I'm just simply saying, don't say it's like losing a chick because that's not what that's like. That it's not the same thing. Like,
yeah, dog. No, you're right. I tried to, but on that, Meek, his name popped up in a lawsuit where this guy known as Lil Rod is suing P. Diddy because he didn't get paid for his work on the album, and he put out a bunch of other stuff, a little bunch of creep ass shit that Diddy was doing. And sounds like Meek was getting spread. Hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Sounds like Meek was getting spread. I think sounds like and getting spread are two different things. At the end of the day, there's been a lot of pause-worthy, sus, gay, whatever you want to call the type of moments throughout this man's career. And look, if he's gay, nobody really cares. Like, nobody cares. But, you know, there were a couple of people that questioned it. He's the one that's egging it on. He's the one actually that's answering to this stuff on Twitter. You know, Usher's not being questioned. Usher's not answering questions. Usher's probably preparing to go on tour, right? I mean, like, he's not sitting up talking about some being named in some producer's lawsuit and saying that Diddy had sex with him. He's not answering to it. Whether true or not, he's ignoring it. So Meek feels the need to talk about it, but not even directly address it, which is what's weird. like, well, since you're going to talk about it, why don't you just go ahead and actually answer? Like, can you just say, no, it didn't happen? Unless it did. And that's what's kind of creating all this stuff. Plus, I think there's just a little bit more shock value in him being the person that got named as opposed to Usher, somebody that I think a couple of people have already thought was kind of gay. I know the Keke Palmer thing, it came out that his mom, her mom had said something about when her like baby daddy got jealous or something, like, yeah, Usher's gay, like whatever. And once again, nobody really cares. That's the thing, because what adults do in their bed, that's between them. Like, I don't really care about it, but it is just it's a circus type of thing when you kind of beating around the bush. But then when you hear clips like that come out of people like Meek's mouth, you really, really, really start to look a little deeper into this stuff, and you're kind of like, wow, you know, from the outside looking in, these people that you don't know, you just kind of see how this world is for these people, and it's just kind of wild, you know. And even for a guy like me, you got a tweet that says the sex life in ATL is a dark world. LOL. Shit get too scandalous and dirty, with a bunch of laughing emojis. 2021, I'm getting saved. And so, you know, as somebody that lives in Atlanta, that's grew up here, born here, I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. But, you know, I'm not in the industry either, so I guess I wouldn't know. But if I had to take a guess, just based on somebody like that saying that. Now, look, there's some wild shit that be going on out here. I feel like that's everywhere. But, like, certainly in Atlanta, the little wild shit that I would know about, it would pretty much involve realistically kind of being gay. I mean, and when I say know about it, I'm saying in a sense of I don't know directly about it, but what I do know is that there are a lot of scandalous people in Atlanta, and certainly it wouldn't surprise me at all if somebody like him found his way into a circle where some of this stuff was going on. And I don't know, a tweet like that, it just kind of it leans more into that direction of exactly what was being talked about in the clip. And it just is one of those things I don't think that he can really get around, and that's why he just won't address it head on, you know?
Hey man, here's what we gotta do. We gotta like make hip hop not a homophobic space. And if guys are into things that may involve, you know, some gay stuff, hey man, just fucking take that shit head on, embrace it. That's who you are. I'm not here to judge you. Just keep making good music.
Well, just be yourself. That's all anyone ever asks. Don't feel like you can't be yourself.
Yeah, bro. That's all it is just be your fucking self. Embrace who you are. Embrace what you do. And own it. I'm not saying you gotta come out and like just tell the world. No, you ain't gotta do that. But like also be in a space that if something comes out about you, that you're okay with it coming out. It like is there anything wrong with that?
No, there isn't. And I mean, we've seen this happen time and time again. Who is it? It's a rapper for TDE, apparently, like a sex tape leaked to them, like sucking dick or something, or blowing someone's back. One of them dudes in TDE, I forgot it. Isaiah Rashad is the dude's name. I've never listened to his music, but I know he's signed to TDE. But apparently he's gay. No big deal. It came out. He actually addressed it head on. He didn't really say that he was gay, but he confirmed that it was him in the video, essentially. And like nobody, like anyone that was a fan of his is still listening to his music for the most part. I'm sure that maybe there was a homophobe or two that like was like, oh no, I can't even rock with that. Maybe. But all in all, his fan base is the exact same. And like it doesn't change anything. He's still signed a TDE. The artists on TDE are still going to work with him. Like nothing changed about that. And so that was something that he didn't ask to come out. Like he didn't ask for that to come out, but it did.
I love McConaughey's slap, still slap, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not gonna stop listening to McCollum's music just because he came out as gay. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with me? like as long as the hits are still the hits, I don't give a shit.
Like, I look at like a R. Kelly, a Michael Jackson, a Bill Cosby. You know, right? They have acts or alleged acts that would lead you to believe that they're not the most upstanding people. Is the work still good? Is A Different World still fire? Does TP2 still slap? You know what I'm saying? Does Human Nature still slap? Yeah. All these things still slap. All right, bro, I'm good.
Right.
I can separate art from artists. I don't hang out with you people anyways. Y'all ain't my friends. We don't move around in the same circles. So if you're doing some stuff if you're doing some stuff in your personal life that doesn't align with me or the fans, who cares? Make good music. Meek, I promise you, this is not a smear campaign. Meek, I promise you, they're not trying to distract from your music. Meek, I promise you, nobody cares that much. Meek, I promise you, you're not the rapper. You don't have the fame. You don't have the clout of the people that you hang out with. I promise. When you make the slaps, we listen. When you just rapping, we don't give a fuck.
You'll probably be a happier person too, because you won't have to keep up this Philly tough guy facade thing, you know?
Yeah, nah, look here. It's okay, bro. You may slide on Twitter, you know. You may slide, you may talk that shit to act. But you may like it when Diddy come through on the late night, allegedly. And that's okay. We ain't judging you over here. We don't give a fuck. Like, were you more of a Meek fan when he and Nicki were together?
No.
Were you less of a Meek fan when they broke up? You know what I mean?
Nope, not at all.
Nah, you just like the slaps. And Meek, we only like the slaps. We don't like the B-sides over here.
Yeah, pretty much. And so, you know, just a lot of weird stuff, you know, going on. And this is what makes it even funnier / weirder. You look at somebody like Usher, who was also named in the same exact thing. And he's had rumors for years, I'd like to think, kind of. And then even with the Keke Palmer thing, when that happened, like her mom, like got recorded and said something like Usher's gay anyway. Like, what are you talking about? To like the baby daddy when he was getting upset about it. And it's kind of like Usher hadn't said anything about this shit. You know why? Because whether true or not, Usher is kind of like, I'm not going to give this my attention. But it's like Meek Mill is giving it his attention, but he isn't even answering the question.
Nah,
like he's talking about it without directly addressing it by saying that shit's bogus, blah, blah, blah. Like, no. He's just saying, he said something like, I don't go to Hollywood and do weird shit like Molly and Coke. He said, I'm a Philly nigga. Like, this is what he's saying, but he's not directly saying Diddy ain't never touched my booty hole, like type shit. Like,
yeah, bro, it's like, hey, bro, you talking about drugs. We don't care if you do Molly and Coke. The streets don't care if you do Molly or Coke.
More importantly, you're lying. You've done Molly and Coke once in your life. So don't try and sit here and fucking lie. Like nigga, it's not 2025. It's not 2005 where people just don't act like they've done this stuff. Like, don't lie about it, bro. We know you've done it. Like, I know you fucking done it, liar. Like, nigga, don't tell me that the only thing you ever done was drink and smoke weed. I don't believe you. Like, What did Jay-Z say? We don't believe you. You need more people. Like,
So what's more believable? Meek didn't have inter-butt actions with Diddy, allegedly, or he didn't do Molly and Coke in Hollywood. What's more believable?
honestly, that Diddy didn't bust him down because I just don't believe that the nigga didn't do like it's actually just hard to believe that you've been in that space and you've never done it. Doesn't mean that you're an active user. Like nobody's saying that you do coke like all the time or Molly all. Nobody's saying that. Most people, if you do that stuff a lot, like you're probably gonna die. So, like, I believe that you don't do it actively. Hell, I don't do it actively. But for me to sit here and act like I've never touched any other substance, any substance in my life, that'd be it's a bold-faced lie. Like it's a bold face. There are people out here that have it. I just don't believe that Meek's one of them.
No, I don't believe. Yeah, we talked about this in pre-production, and we were talking about the NDAs that we hear about, know about getting signed at these parties. The people in these circles, they're not gonna talk because they're protecting themselves. The guys, right? The women aren't gonna say too much because they're protecting themselves because they want Birkins. They want to get invited back. Why do you need an NDA? Why do you need to lock your phone? Cowboy butt sex.
Yeah. Power bottoms like TD Jakes being at parties. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
Because that's the thing that could get talked about by somebody on the outside who knows, like just think if like one of the Instagram hoes, right, is talking about the dudes fucking each other. She can still find rich straight dick and be fine.
Yeah. Might be old and white, but she can get it.
And I think she can find it in the young black industry, right? You can still find like rich straight black dick, right?
Yeah.
But I truly believe that the NDAs are to protect the activities that these people enjoy that they don't want the world to know about, and I think it's homosexual activity, and I'm not judging them for it. Like, bro, whatever your kink is, if you find a partner who's open to doing what you want to do, have at it.
Yeah, if that's what you like. And typically when that homosexual type activity is going on, you know, and I'll say this. Obviously, I mean, I'm not homosexual, but I've been around gay people before. They do a lot of drugs typically. And Coke and Molly are like some of their favorites to do. I have to imagine that while this stuff's going on, they're doing this stuff. So that's even more of a reason why it's just like, Meek, why are you deflecting to something else that nobody asked you about?
And why are you beefing with academics? Why are you beefing with academics for reporting the news? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I don't understand why the quote unquote street rappers even like engage with somebody like academics, because he's not gonna take it to the streets. He's not gonna be outside. He gonna be in his own little world. And like, if you want to play, if you want to play games in somebody's houses, bro, like in somebody's house, bro, they know what a trap door is. They know how to get out the back. Do you? Or you just like letting somebody in the back side?
Well, and more importantly, when you're speaking about it openly, you're indicating yourself. So let's say something does happen, right? Like Kid Cudi's car got blown up by Diddy. Another one of those stories that he actually confirmed. He's like, yeah, you know, my car did get blown up. And maybe he did or didn't know who did it at the time. I have no idea. Because it is a little weird. It's something that just never got talked about ever. But somehow it got named in a lawsuit. And then he confirms it years later. Which is kind of crazy that shit like that has happened. And like it wasn't in the news like at all. Like, damn.
Well, yeah, no, and that's the thing. It wasn't in the news. It wasn't on Twitter. It wasn't on Instagram. Shit just happened.
Yeah. But, you know, if Axe shit gets blown up tonight, Meek Mill is the first person everybody's going to be looking at because,
Well,
I
he
don't know,
talked.
You kind of indicated yourself that you were going to do something to him. Like,
Well, he talked to the governor. The governor told him to chill. So he's gonna listen to the governor. He's gonna chill.
the governor of Pennsylvania?
I don't know. He just said the governor.
Is that Diddy? I don't know. Look, I don't know what type of weird names they be giving each other. Because the governor runs something.
Well, Diddy runs a few things.
More than a few. I'd say a lot of things.
Anything else you want to talk about, Parlay Pete?
No, I think Meek Mill is exactly where I wanted to end this thing. I just thought that it was just it's just interesting. And I guess as time goes on, we'll get to find out more and more about this. Or like everything else, it'll just get swept under the rug.
Yeah, but you know what? If it gets reported, we'll talk about it, guys.
Yeah.
We out of here. All right, Parlay Pete. I'll holler at you.
All right, brother. Salutations to people.